Say hello. Jump up on that mic and say hello.
Hello.
Great to have you here with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking out the time to be here. You got to get right up on it, or it doesn't really pick you up very well.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Jeez. Getting it going right
Get
away
up on it.
with the smart assness in true comedian form. I see you got some notes there. What
Oh no, I'm always taking notes.
Okay, that's again, you're a real comic.
Your mind never rests. I said your mind never rests. You're constantly got to write down.
I'm constantly thinking.
Are you one of those people who
thinking.
can't sleep because of it?
No, I sleep quite well, thank you.
Do you really?
5 hours a night.
It's not that great.
That's not great
Perfect.
at all. That's
perfect.
No, you're
Yes.
supposed to get.
You seem like a morning person.
I am.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also a PM person.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
I stay up late and I get up early.
Wow. See, that's not good.
12
though.
to 5. I watch Conan from 11 to
Okay.
12,
Well-
and then I go to bed and I get up and I do yoga.
What is your thought on the other late night shows?
I don't watch anybody else but Conan.
There you go.
I knew I liked you.
I don't even know if any other, I don't even know what time they go on.
Harvard grad.
I watch. You know.
Yeah, I love him.
Grew up in Brookline.
I know. He's a product of Boston.
Went
I
to
love him.
Emerson.
Yeah, there you go. See.
all the rest of them, like I've tried like watching a little bit, and then I instantly check out. And Conan's the one I keep going back to, where I'm like, okay, it's him now.
Right.
Like I know people. I know it's Fallon technically, but it's never. No, I don't think so.
Fallon did kill me with the Bruce Springsteen.
He's
Christmas cover, though.
talented, and he
you
does
see that?
get.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
I just told you I don't watch it.
Touche. You know what? Yeah, that's
Although
right.
I do like Jimmy Fallon when he does the music stuff.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it was, and that's
Right.
that's what I was just gonna say. I'm also a fan of the parodies he does. They're
is
they're
amazing.
Funny. Yeah, they're funny. Well, someone who's a great writer will write it, and he's a great performer, and he performs it. So it,
And he does it. He
it's
nails it.
money exactly. It's money every time. You know?
But he's also been doing it for years. I mean,
Right.
there are videos of him when he's like 3 performing.
See, there you go.
And it just went on.
And I'm not the biggest fan of the guy at all. I think he's kind of like goofy and like
He's
a
crazy.
He
little-
is goofy.
He goes a little
Yeah,
over.
that's
goes
what
a
he
little
does.
overboard, you know.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be an asshole in real life.
No
Really?
kidding?
To his wife and his children.
Wow.
Because he likes to potty.
Where'd you get that information? Is this like a known thing?
I can't tell you.
Are you a National Enquirer reader?
No.
Do you like pick up like garbage on the?
No, I read Weekly World News
okay.
until like Bat Boy left, and then I stopped reading.
I could kind of picture. I could kind of picture.
I
you-
remember that. I remember.
I kind of
that.
picture your like secret shame picking up like those god awful like paper like what are they called, like point of purchase, like right in the checkout oil.
People,
Tabloids.
Star,
Tabloids.
and
Yeah, like
Inquirer.
tabloids. I
and,
could see you being like,
tabloids.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna go ahead.
No, I just read them while I'm in line,
Yeah,
or steal them from my doctor's
just look at a
office.
cover real quick.
That's
true.
I have a couple family members who those are their guilty pleasures. I'll find them like in their car. I'm like, what are you doing with this? What is going on here?
Dude, you didn't hear about this? There's a 600-pound baby.
I just think it's funny, you know. I'm like, oh.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Apparently.
Not very smart minds, but they want to know.
Hey, if they're looking for some form of entertainment, and you know, I don't know if they believe it a little bit, I guess, and I don't know.
There's a shred of truth to everything that you read, though. Just a shred.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Like somebody else wrote it.
What about Bad Boy though?
That boy escapes from cave. That's true. That is true. There's a musical to prove it.
Okay, touche.
If you can see, I'm waiting for the movie,
Yeah.
and you know there's gonna be one.
With Bad Boy himself.
Whether or
in it.
not if it's gonna be a musical or just a regular movie, but there will be a Bat Boy movie, Escapes from Cave.
We'll see.
I just love the picture.
That was hilarious. That was in some movie too. I forget the movie it was in, but
Probably in Men in Black.
it was. It might. I think it was something.
The third one.
Something along those lines. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. They had that shot in the movie, and I remembered that, and I laughed
Classic.
instantaneously.
I love it.
It was good.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie? Depends on genre.
No.
Yes, it does.
What's your favorite movie?
No, but that is.
There are so many.
That-
They're in
I
different
know, but-
categories. I love the Alien
Yeah.
series. I love the Alien, the tagline, "In space, no one can hear you scream." But that's my generation. And all of them are good. Except the stupid one, Alien versus Predator, which is bullshit.
You didn't like it?
No, it
I
was
didn't see it.
ridiculous.
I didn't see it.
It was a waste of time.
Okay.
But in the Star Trek, no.
I thought the new
I'd say
Star Trek-
Alien was probably in the Predator too. Terminator, Predator, Alien.
Okay,
Great,
wow.
Great time, great movie.
Well,
all of
okay,
them.
so you like the action films?
They're action slash
Here we go.
because they're like science-y fiction-y.
No, sure, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because some people would say Alien is horror, and I'm like, it's sort of
See,
science fiction sort of horror.
I would argue that any science fiction movie is also either a horror or an action movie.
That's a solid argument.
It's got to be one of those two.
All right, well then, what's the one with Matt Damon in it?
What?
Whatever the one where he's in Mars.
Oh, The Martian.
Martian.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
Yeah, but that's not action because it was pretty damn dull for the most part. Except when he explodes himself. That was
That's
hilarious.
sort of action.
It was no action. It was
The very
dead.
beginning of it is action-packed at the very beginning. I mean,
sure.
it's like...
And him flying there and all the people dying.
Yeah, and like, oh my God,
I
it's
think-
like a crazy scene.
I bet if I looked it up, it would say thriller/comedy.
Thriller,
Yeah.
maybe.
That's
The
a word.
Martian?
That's a word. I swear to God, that's a word that gets thrown around a lot.
Comedy?
I promise.
Actually,
you didn't think
it's
it was
very
funny?
funny.
It was very.
I think
funny.
it's
There were
solidly
funny
funny.
parts in it.
But it was funny enough though that you.
I
you're
wouldn't.
gonna be like-
I wouldn't categorize it as
Yeah.
comedy.
You know what's funny about that movie?
I think other people would though.
Well, not funny about the movie, but
Yeah,
I was actually I was talking to let's see, my wife's friend's wedding, and somebody's wife was a writer in L.A. and like wrote on like little TV shows and stuff like that.
That's legit.
So we just started like just shooting the shit, and I was like, so like, what's an example of like a well-written movie, like something that you can really be like, this doesn't fall in this category, whatever, just something well structured and written. And she was
Right.
like, The Martian is incredibly well written.
It was a great book.
Wow.
Yeah, she's just like,
book was-
it's
the novel was
very,
great.
like everything that had to be done, the research and like everything that had to be spot on. She goes, that is a well written and developed movie.
Great novel. It was good. About this man who fell to Mars.
I don't read.
I wonder what that guy.
don't
I heard that guy
read.
was.
You don't read.
I don't read.
Read
good.
this.
I don't read much. I don't.
I heard that. I heard that guy was in some sort of science though before the.
Oh yeah,
before he
the
wrote
author.
the book. Yeah,
yeah,
he was.
They all are.
Is he in botany?
I don't know. He was some sort of. He was like an engineer or something of some
Yeah,
sort.
and he wrote a novel,
and
and now he's like,
Yeah.
now I'm famous.
You know what's hilarious? Actually, my doctor, my
Physician?
my primary care physician, he wrote a book.
Is it any good?
Well, yeah.
I'm debating on whether or not I should get a copy and have him plug it on the show. I don't know if if he would be.
Oh, how recent was it?
Dude, like I went to the doctor yesterday. Okay, and just I haven't been there for a while or anything like that. So I went in there, and
For your annual?
yes. And no, not yet. I'm too young for that. That's about.
Oh, no, you're
that's
not.
Still 10 years. Well, it's still 10 years away. So I'm holding off as long as I can.
Pinky sex?
No, no, but he had the book out though. This was yesterday, and I don't want to say. I'm debating. I'll tell you. I will tell you. I would love for him to get.
Because I'm an avid reader.
I would love for him to sell copies.
Voracious.
That's good. That's good.
I can spell that.
What does
too.
voracious mean?
Voracious means
What is
an amazing
voracious
appetite.
mean?
Because I said I don't read,
True.
so I wouldn't know that
Read
word.
this.
Touche.
I'm
Got
just
it.
going to keep showing you that.
Oh man. Yeah.
So what?
I was just thinking, author might be the way to go. Like as far as fame and fortune, but no one really knows what you look like.
Yep.
I mean, the diehards do, but like you could walk pretty much anywhere.
Don't put your photo on that dust jacket.
I wouldn't
And
know J.K.
wouldn't matter, 'cause
I wouldn't
half
know
the people
J.K.
aren't
Rowling
reading.
if I fell over.
true.
I would know. I have no Rowling. I wouldn't even know. She was
Oh, sure.
I would not. If she walked, I would
No,
have
you
no
wouldn't.
idea.
I don't know what she looks like
That's what I'm
either.
saying.
Right.
But she's probably the
She's one of
most
them-
famous author
Yes.
on the planet right now.
She's-
Yes.
And I could have crossed paths with her. I don't know how many times. I had no idea.
I would bet that she's got to be like the all-time most selling author. Like either, or actually no, probably Stephen King. Because
I bet you money. I bet you money
They'd be
wise.
close.
You think so?
I bet you
Yeah.
money
yeah.
wise with the franchise.
Right,
and
right.
She must be.
But I-
Yeah, but
Stephen
Stephen King, too.
Stephen King in the '90s though. With
yeah.
boatloads.
Okay.
Right.
Just
yeah,
redid
that's true.
It,
That's true.
which I
Right.
haven't seen.
Oh, that is true. I haven't seen the new one yet either.
Neither.
but
I don't want to see it.
I read the book though.
I read it, too. And
And-
even the first TV version was pretty good.
Yeah, I
'Cause
know.
it stayed with the book, so.
Can
it
I
wasn't,
ask you? I made this joke about because people who they're like, oh, the book was so much better than the movie. I'm like, you haven't read that fucking book because no, it was not. It was so long. Okay, only the first 600 pages are good, and then after when you finish it, you realize I just read 500 pages out of pure spite, just to say that I finished it. It was just.
I love big books.
It was, but it was so like long-winded and like, I mean, it
What
was.
book is this?
Rambling It.
It's 1,100.
Did you read The Stand?
I only read it because this was.
It was there.
1,100 pages.
This was in like 8th grade. You know what I mean? And a couple of my friends had done it, so I was like, I got to do it now. I got to do it.
You were a lonely child.
I got to do it. No, I was just one of those. I was just a nerd. You know?
Wow,
Read
you
the
and
books.
your friends must have
I
been
was
the
like-
cool kids in class.
Ooh, did you read
Me and
page
some of my friends
27?
read it, so I had to do it,
hey,
because I didn't want to be a nerd or
I had
anything
to-
and not read an 1,100 page
I had
freaking
to
book.
do it. And I was so pissed when I finished it. I was like, wow, this is fucking stupid. But how many times does that kid get his ass kicked though?
A lot.
You know, it's like, dude, we get it, dude. Okay, so and it made me. Stephen King, I think, got beat up a lot as a kid. I feel.
Did
like.
you look at him? I'd
'Cause
beat him up if I saw him
that-
today.
See, that's exactly
So
it.
he,
See, I was this size in 8th grade, so no one fucked with me. You know?
My stepfather-
I could read huge books, and no one would talk shit like you two assholes.
I was this size and nobody fucked with me either.
Touche.
my stepfather gets that he looks like Stephen King a
does?
lot.
Really?
Yeah, dude. He's got
Really?
it. He's got it so much that
The
he's.
gap?
Huh?
Does he have the gap?
No, he looks a lot like him. Like
Does he have
looks.
glasses?
Yeah,
That's a
and-
big part.
So
Got
he
the
looks
hair?
a ton like him. Yep.
Got the messy
I'll
hair.
try to find a picture or try to, but he looks so much like him that it was a problem for a while where he was like, if one more person comes up to me, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Right.
Like, I have to do something so I don't look like him. It was that bad.
That is hilarious.
No,
to
he
me.
should have gotten a job being his double and gotten a speaking engagement and made some money.
A double for an author? What the hell do
Yeah,
they
he
have to
goes
do?
all over the world speaking. The
Yeah,
kid
but,
and his
like-
fan base is phenomenal.
Yeah, I know his fan base
He
must
could
be
be
phenomenal, but
a
you can't
double.
stand in a double for what? Physical nothing.
Yeah.
They don't
I
do
bet
anything.
I bet you he's had some assassination attempts. You know?
Who?
I'm just
Ever
kidding.
since JFK.
I'm just kidding.
That's a good series.
That was Spielberg. You're thinking about?
No,
isn't it?
Stephen King has a Netflix show called
Stranger Things.
No, not Stranger Things. That's Spielberg. He has a I forget the name
That
of
was
it,
the
but
Duffer. That was the Stranger Things was the Duffer brothers. Joe's just being a
Right.
smartass. No, but hold on. JFK.
he wrote
Stephen
a book.
King.
He does historical fiction
No
too.
way.
Yes, and he did
I did not know that.
a book on JFK's assassination, and it has James Franco, and he time travels into back into 1964
Wow.
to
Wow.
research the.
And this is on Netflix?
Yeah,
Wow.
he does a lot of them. This is like his third one.
I did not know that. I did not know that. Now, and by the way, it wasn't Spielberg. It was fucking
Lucas,
no, the
Ron Howard,
no, he's the guy that was in the military that now directs. He did the first JFK movie
Peter
in 91. Oliver
Stone.
Thank you.
Ah.
That's right. Thank you, Mikey Shake on the board.
Stone.
You know what's so
My
funny
man.
is you just
Stone.
could have been like, I don't know, the other big director. That's all you had to say. He's the only other one. He's
there-
like, well,
no,
not the
no, wait,
only
it's-
other one, but
James Cameron, Steven Spielberg,
Fucking-
George Lucas.
Fucking Michael.
I'm saying
Bay,
Oliver Stone
you know?
gets mentioned like I'd
Oh,
say within
he's
the
taken
first
very
5 directors'
seriously,
names.
like
I'd say, he's-
Scorsese. He's up
Yeah.
there with Scorsese.
Yeah.
You know, they're taken very.
Okay.
Their names mean a lot. You
Yeah.
know?
That's another one
Yeah.
where if you were a
Coppola.
director, I'm probably not a director, but an author, yes, you fly under the radar and you're famous and make lots of money. A director,
Depends on the director.
producers, you probably get away with as a producer. You know who I didn't realize was a massive producer until maybe last year was Jon Favreau.
Oh yeah,
I had no
he did
idea
his first
he was-
movie in like '91.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so what? Swingers was that his first?
no, he
one?
did.
What?
No, didn't do Swingers. That's
he did.
No, yeah, he was in Swingers. Him
He
and
was
Vin,
in
him and,
Swingers.
Him and Vince Vaughn.
And he wrote that
I'm
whole thing
thinking,
is about them, right?
Is that really? That's
Yeah.
like, that's loosely based on them?
That's like
Probably.
Oh.
is them. I don't think it's
Oh,
loosely
wow.
based at all. I think it's
think it's
very
them.
much them.
Wow.
Did Vince Vaughn look like he was acting in that movie? No, he was just being a dick.
I just
Like,
thought he was
that's
that-
it.
I just thought he was that
Which
good.
he's very
you know?
good at.
Yeah. Wow.
40 whole 9 yards. Is that the name of it?
That
With
was
Matthew Perry.
Bruce Willis is in that. Matthew Perry is
Yeah,
in
I
that.
think
Jon
Jon
Favreau
Favreau
did that?
wrote it.
No kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I need to pay more attention to stuff like that.
But I didn't know he
Like
produced Iron Man. Like he
Yeah, the first
that's
one.
what I'm saying.
He
like,
directed the
Yep.
first Iron Man.
Yeah, I was just like, holy
Yeah.
shit! Like,
Yeah.
you know,
he
who
directed.
knew?
He directed.
Because he was
Yeah.
such a goof. But I'm saying he was such a goof as an actor.
Right.
Like he never had major roles
That's-
at all.
that's
so
why
then
he
when
was-
you were like, he's a huge producer, you're like, huh?
He was doing more serious stuff like that.
Rudy's
like,
Right.
friend? How is he a
Right.
freaking huge producer now?
He was like,
Deep Bebop? Are you shitting me?
He was writing fucking Bruce Willis
Right,
movies.
because he knew he wasn't going to be a list actor.
Think
I mean,
about
really.
that. He wrote a movie that Matthew Perry was in while he was on fucking NBC. So
Right.
that was major.
But Jon
you know?
Favreau was on it too,
The
as the wrestler millionaire.
and which one?
And he was on Friends.
Oh no, but I mean
Yeah.
Matthew Perry was like making sitcom money.
Oh,
like,
yes. Yeah.
like being on there
Before drug rehab and,
You know.
prescription painkillers.
Did he do that too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't. Oh,
They all
man.
did it.
God bless him.
He had one of the best. He was on Punk'd, and I remember this one because some guy, like, the whole setup was that he was taking him to buy a car. Like, he was going with his friend. His friend said he was going to buy a car.
Okay.
And they went to like some shady garage, and then like the guy was like, I'm gonna buy this Porsche, and he goes, it's yellow, and he goes, everyone's gonna make fun of you. But he did this when he didn't know the cameras was on. The cameras on him.
Right.
But he was like, that's the tackiest. Everyone's gonna make fun of you. Dude. What are you doing? It was just great. I'm like,
That
dude,
is-
he's just as cynical, like in real life. Just like, what? Dude, no.
Chandler Bing was.
Yeah,
real,
it wasn't a
wicked
stretch.
cynical,
That's what I'm
yes,
saying.
yes.
I feel like that happens. Like guys that are guys and women that are really good actors at one specific thing. It's
Yeah.
probably because it's not a stretch for them. Like they can't be that hard.
Someone reads the role and they're like, I know the guy.
That's me.
I know the guy. or that read that too. That
High
too.
school me, yeah, I
Right.
can be that guy.
There
Yeah,
you go.
absolutely.
There you go. That's so
You're
true.
right.
That's funny.
I don't know. I was playing with it. I don't know what this thing is, but no one can. I
me
mean,
see.
we're I don't.
It's a thing.
I think it's like a twist thing for like the mic or something on the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
it's-
tightens it.
Let me
Came
see.
off a guitar.
Huh?
Guitar
Yeah.
tuning.
It's a
type.
fret.
Oh,
thing.
I see it now.
Right.
Yep, like that.
Oh,
That's the neck.
He is
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Coming in with the answers again.
Wow,
We gotta
yeah.
come up with
I
some more
like
trivia
her.
questions from
There you go, Mike.
Oliver Stone thing. He's like, that's a Fredo guitar. It's coming at the right things. Okay.
Love it.
Guess
Love
you've
it.
never been a roadie in a band, huh?
Me? No. Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, you been a roadie?
No way.
For who?
Let's get into
I
that.
was a road
Tell me.
manager. in the
Tell me.
80s.
Who was it for?
Till Tuesday was probably the biggest one. I did Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
We were just talking
we
about
didn't
them
talk-
in the lobby.
Just talking about the Boss Tones.
Bim
Wow.
Scalabim.
Okay. I
A
don't.
couple of local bands. Skin, Judy's Tiny Head.
Okay.
Let's see. Three Colors was my first band, and they were like early, like 84 or something. And they went on to
Do you have any of their stuff on
Oh, you could do
file
any of
to
that.
play a bit of it? Or?
I think they probably are licensed. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah.
I don't,
and then
I don't know. I don't
from
know.
Scruffy the Cat came Morphine, and that was probably the biggest.
So you were a road manager. What does that job entail?
Set
Like
up,
what you
breakdown,
have to
and
do?
transportation.
But you boss people around, or
Get the hell out of bed. Get out.
It's the most thankless
Right.
job in rock
Pull
and roll.
that girl's pants up. Get out. Get on stage.
Really?
Now.
So you were a mom to a band.
Jesus.
Ugh, that must have been the most
was awesome.
difficult thing.
Wow.
That must have been. So what were there any perks?
We opened we opened it for everybody. We opened for Red Hot Chili Peppers when they came out in their socks.
Yeah.
That was an amazing show at the channel that is no longer there.
That was the first time that happened, and you were there.
That was
for
the first time that they came out with just their socks on, and everybody was tripping, and they were all in Dayglow pants. It was an amazing show. It was phenomenal.
That's crazy.
A lot of perks were drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you partied
And
back.
money. Oh, I got paid.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I didn't party.
You got paid
I
in
was
drugs.
working. No, I got paid money and I got paid in drugs.
Nice.
Which I sold, so they had more money.
money.
So you were
Nice.
a drug dealer.
No, I was a drug.
Now,
I was the in between.
the police would beg to differ.
Yes, they were. They were all friends of
I
mine.
am not a
too.
drug dealer. I am just simply handing it from this person
That's
to
right.
this person.
Yeah.
I'm not judging. I was no angel myself.
And they're donating the
That's
money
funny.
to me
There you
because
go.
it's smarter for me to have it than for them to have it.
Yeah.
Officer.
There you go.
I was also a
There you go.
competitive bodybuilder when I was a roadie.
I did know that. I remember you talking about that.
Yes, and that's why I didn't do the drugs.
Right. Okay.
Except on weekends.
The
Yeah.
weekend warrior.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to work out during
Okay.
the week.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
What was your diet consisting of as a bodybuilder? I know it must be like high protein, just constantly.
No, I ate everything. I only dieted when there was a contest.
Yeah, because you need the
For a
crash.
year and a half, for 16 months, I ate
you need the calories.
rice
dude.
cakes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I ate like a pig for 2 years.
Right. Because
I was almost 200 pounds.
As long as you get shape, you get
Right.
you get the shape.
You're
It
almost two
It doesn't
bills.
matter. You'd
Yes.
rather weigh more as long as you can keep the form. You'd
And
rather.
then-
Right.
2 years, 24 months of eating whatever I want, working out every single day, 4 to 5 hours a day, and then a year before the contest, I stopped eating almost everything except rice cakes, sprouts, and tuna.
Just
and
one- wow.
rice cakes, tuna, cottage cheese, and sprouts.
Just
for
lean.
a year.
Yeah. Why?
I was very unhappy.
Why? What? No.
I was like, "Ah."
Why is that though?
That's why it works when you get on
Have you
stage.
seen the
gotta flex.
pictures? I looked
No, I didn't.
freaking amazing.
I've only ever heard you say that. I've never seen the.
I wish I had the pictures on me.
I've never seen the
I looked
photos.
amazing.
Wow.
Thank God I took pictures.
But so okay, so you didn't like yourself in the huge muscle. You wanted to lose all that mass. That's what you're saying.
no, I had to get the mass so they could cut down and just show the muscle.
Oh,
I always
okay.
liked myself. I'm not one of those weird women.
Okay. Yeah. No, but it's a lot of bodybuilders that they're just like, it's too much mass to maintain. You know, like it was too much to just carry around, and so and they get
too much mass here and very little brain power.
So, maybe that too, but I don't know.
They're not
I know
a very smart bunch.
A lot of people that used to be huge bodybuilders get real lean though. They get real into cardio and stuff, and they're just,
I
just,
looked amazing.
Oh, I'm
I'll
not.
have to dig up the picture.
I don't. You're still a very fit lady. I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that.
But I'm
at all.
not jacked. I'll be jacked this summer. I'm getting back into that.
Are you gonna? Yeah.
How much were you benching in your heyday?
2.25, maybe.
Yeah.
Could
But
deadlift
But if you only weigh 180,
190.
that's good.
Yeah, it's
You know?
amazing.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
happy
I
when
saw-
I got the 2
Right.
cookies on there. I was like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying for anyone. I mean, he I don't,
That's
he
a solid
knows,
amount of
you know?
weight.
Right. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
60
good.
pounds more than I weighed at the
Yeah.
time.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
can I ask you full disclosure? Did you do any type of PED type of stuff
No.
back in the 80s?
Nope.
Even back in the 80s?
Nope.
Okay. Wow.
No, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. I believe if you say it. I'm just. I
No,
know,
I didn't
I
want.
know
That's
that
the reason I'm not a bodybuilder today, because I had the
you
chance
kind
to
of
like.
have to.
I was like,
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to get a bigger penis.
So
Yeah.
My penis is already big enough. I don't need to
even
get bigger.
even at a competitive level, and you had stopped on your way up doing it, how like frequent would you say like was every bodybuilder
Everybody
doing
was
it?
doing it.
Yeah.
Everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was a time when it was natural or not, and that they would have natural in the title.
No way.
Wait.
No, natural means no drugs,
Right.
and then if it didn't have natural in it, everybody was doing something.
Wow.
So let me ask you this:
So it was
would they
right-
determine that just by like, would they be like, "Hey, are you natural? Are you taking something?" Or would they be like, "Hey, you got to take this piss test.
No,
you got to
no,
go through all this."
That was way before anybody was taking any.
Oh,
any testing.
okay.
It was just if it
Okay.
said natural, the implication was that you were honest enough not to.
So some people would be like, "This is natural," and then
Yeah.
they could be on
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, and they did, and that's why I got out of it. It's like I'm not shooting up just to get bigger. What's the
That's
point?
bullshit.
Right.
I'm not going to make any money from it, so
Right,
I could have made money, but then again, my health would have been an issue.
Sure.
It's kind of a contradiction if you're a bodybuilder and you're shooting up bovine growth hormone or
Right.
to
Yeah.
get bigger,
Which
because
is
it's supposed to be-
expensive.
Yeah.
Right. No, I get that. Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, but you could always
That's
tell
nutty.
the guys because they had the bad acne, they had bitch tits and small penises and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
It's very easy to figure out somebody who's
Right.
doing the juice.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you
crazy.
can always tell, like, kind of like it's like the testosterone as far as like UFC fighters go and stuff. A lot of people say like,
Right.
was it legal? Well, when the times that were illegal, but the guys that you knew were doing it, they never faded, and they all had this kind of like eyebrow, slight like
Yeah.
forehead type thing, and you're like, something's going
Caveman.
on.
They
here.
get that exactly.
It was like
it's
a
the
weird.
Neanderthal-y.
Right,
thing,
yeah.
And
They
would
start
have-
regressing.
Seriously.
It was a weird little
You
thing
know,
where
you
you'd be like,
just-
something's up with his face. It like looks different.
Something's up
with
Like
his
it looks different. Why does it look different? They'd just be completely shredded, and then they'd be just as strong as they were like in the fourth round as they were in the
Right.
first.
And
It's absurd.
it does that thing to your jaw, you know, because
Yeah.
your head gets bigger and,
Yeah.
and your jaw just gets really
Yeah, and you'd always be
pronounced
like,
and,
yes, I don't know what it is,
It's
but-
ridiculous.
You're regressing into
Seriously.
Cro-Magnon.
And you know who looks like that? Which I don't think he does now because he's in the NFL. But I bet in high school and college, I think Gronk was probably on some PEDs. 'Cause
maybe.
he's got that.
Yeah, he's
Got that square head. Dude,
I don't know.
You know?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't
No, in
think-
high school that would probably be the best place to do it and not get busted because they want you to get big and the coaches are like, well,
That's
yeah,
what I mean.
whatever.
And then once you get
And
into
it's easy to get.
once you get into a D1 program like he did, and then into the pros, you can't do that.
So you know what's so funny is even when
I
you're in
bet
a
you he
D1
did.
program, I don't even think like maybe now, but
back in his day though.
yeah, my uncle's good buddy.
We
he
are
went-
talking 15 years. you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
he went to a school that
Yeah.
wasn't D1. He went to UConn, and they were like,
Still-
"Hey,
still
we-
legit football
yeah,
program,
but you know,
though.
decent, good football
Right,
program." And he was
100%.
like, "They're like, yeah, we need to move you."
Even them, I would expect.
Yeah.
To test though.
So they just said
And
to him,
you're about to blow that theory. No, I'm just
Jesus Christ. No,
I
I'm,
feel like
I'm saying you don't. Back then, like it didn't matter as much. I think now, like it's checked more, but you still probably get away with it if you're D1.
Right, they should just let everybody do it, like
But-
Bill Burr says. Let
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
do it. And
Right.
let's
Let's see
watch
what
them all.
happens.
But what did
Yeah.
they tell him though?
So they said, like, yeah, we're going to need to move you to offensive line. And he was like, I'm really not I'm not a lineman. And he goes, yeah, but, we're here. You can put on, we think somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 to, 90 pounds. And he was like, I can't do that. And he was like, he goes, you could find a way to do it.
Right.
And that's what they said to him. And he was like, yeah, but I can't. They were like, yeah, you can.
Right.
And he was just like, nah, I'm not doing it. And he's like, stop playing football.
Right.
I'm not doing
like
it.
I said, blew that theory right out of the water. They're telling the coaching staff is like,
wink, wink.
Right, exactly.
Right.
I would expect them.
You could say it without saying it. That's what I'm saying.
No, but I'm saying if they're telling them that, they obviously aren't piss testing them then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. They can't say get on steroids. But if they're not piss testing them, they can, try to,
Yeah.
Yep.
My father was a sports agent for a while, and
That's dope.
Yeah, he didn't get anybody great. He got like a couple guys but that didn't that broke in but didn't stay in.
Right.
But one of them, he was going after a kid who was a safety at Michigan. His name was Cato June, and he ended up being an all-pro with the Colts, and he was a safety at Michigan, and then he was just a hair bit too slow to stay at safety.
Right.
So he gained like 60 to 70 pounds of solid muscle and became a linebacker, and then ended up an all-pro, and also played better than he had ever played in years past, and everyone was like, what happened here? So it was one of those things where he actually gave my dad a call after he ended up not going with him as an agent, but he called him and was like, hey, I want to thank you for telling me to do the, not take steroids, but I want to thank you to tell me to put an all-pro clause in your contract, no matter what, even if you're a rookie. Just put in, like, if I, make the Pro Bowl or whatever, I want a bonus. And, like, they might laugh at you because you're a rookie, and they're like, you'd be lucky to make this team. Right. Just put it in there because I'm like, yeah, sure. And he goes, and I did it, and I ended up getting, like, he goes, I got another $150,000 for the Pro Bowl.
No, he should have sent your dad a check.
He should have, but he didn't.
Yeah,
he gave him a phone call.
Right.
My dad was like, when I got that phone call, I was like, yeah, okay, so
thanks a lot.
Should I look for something in the mail? It's like, I just want to thank you. He goes, yep, you're welcome. You should have signed with me.
Yeah, right. No kidding.
Sad.
Yeah.
How about a contract with my name on the bottom next to yours? You
I know.
douche.
Just send a check.
That too. But hopefully many more after that. Also, if he was, But Cato June, I feel like I remember
great
that
name.
Yeah, I feel like
He was an excellent football player. He was a really good football player.
Was this when we were kids? Like,
yeah,
we were before that.
And then he became a drag queen.
He got. I'd say he was drafted in. I'd go with like 2001, 2002ish.
Right. Okay, yeah.
And then he ended up on the Colts and ended up being a linebacker with the Colts for a solid 3 years. I think then went to Tampa. And
where is he now?
Oh, I don't know.
He's a drag
behind
queen.
the scenes.
That's
right.
Exactly. He's performing at Jock's Cabaret tonight in Dorchester.
No, I would never insult a man of his size.
No. But
watch him run in heels. Then you can figure it. So what about the sex scandal thing? I'm very baffled by that whole thing.
Which one?
I feel bad for you guys.
Which
White
one?
men are in the shitter now.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
all of them.
There's a sea of us, and we just get lost in it now because it's just like, oh, you motherfuckers,
Another one bites the dust.
We're like, come on, I don't.
I keep saying I'm like just crossing my fingers of the people that I still like and just being like, please,
Ron Howard.
God, I said no. Like I was like, thank God Paul Newman's dead. Like I just would never want anything to come out and be like,
seriously.
No, actually, Paul Newman's probably one of the good ones because he was married to Joanne Woodward for a long.
Do you know though?
Like,
do you know?
See?
No, but I would assume they were married for like 6 years.
If anybody told you in your roadie bodybuilder days, they'd be like, oh, by the way, Bill Cosby's going down because he assaulted. You'd be like, okay, yeah.
No, I'd still say he's still funny.
Yeah. No, my point is in that time, would you ever believe anybody if they said that to you?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, and you know why?
I would.
Why?
Because men are dicks.
Come on. If someone honest to God was like, hey, you know Cosby's a complete pervert and he's like da-da-da-da, wouldn't you be like, yeah, all right.
Well,
you wouldn't blow that off? Yeah, you'd be like,
prove
prove it. Come on. You'd be like, get the fuck out of here. But I'm saying with like...
I can always bring it.
You're saying Paul Newman's one of the good ones.
I'm keep going, John. I'm sorry. Keep going.
You know, Paul Newman's one of the good ones, like as you said. But do you really know anybody? I feel like you don't anymore. Like after shit like that,
you don't know him anyway. I mean, you think you know. I mean, it's amazing.
That's the point.
In
the
my
image. Yeah.
Right, perfect example. I have relatives that will call famous people by their first names. Like my niece went to see George Michael.
Demi.
My niece went to see George Michael. Like, he was looking right at me, and George is this and George is that. I'm like, first of all, he's gay. Second of all, you're not that skinny, so I don't think he's going your way. He'd probably have you as a fag hag, but he was looking right at me, singing. He was looking right at me, and I'm like, I bet you 25 people that were sitting right in front of him were saying exactly the same thing. Yeah. Or my sister will say, "Oh, Hallie was doing this, Halle Berry, or this and that." I'm like,
I know
you don't know these
of course,
people,
yeah, of course.
Or even Janet. We're going to see Janet.
Right. Janet
we
Jackson.
are we?
Yeah, right.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
That's where are we going to see her?
Are Tito and Jermaine going to be there too?
Right. But it's like the connection between normal people and stars is no longer. It's like a Twitter feed away for the most part, and it's like I don't understand. They don't know you, and you don't know them. So for them, and they would walk right by you.
Oh God, yeah.
Really?
God, yeah.
Unless you jumped in front of them and like mugged them, basically. But they all think everybody thinks they know this person because of they're on. I see them on TV every Sunday, and they must be very nice and blah blah blah. That's their character.
Right.
And there's a really thin line. I had this conversation about this woman. I walk dogs in the daytime, and I have this woman. Her name is Janice, and we were talking right before the election, and she's like, "Yeah, but I think Melania looks so much better in an evening gown." And I said, "You're basing your vote on whether or not she looks better in an evening gown." I wanted to kill her. I wanted to bash her head in with a rock because that's the people. Well, I know. And she was calling her by her first name. I was like, "Have you ever met the woman?" No. But you're gonna base your vote on whether she's not even running.
Right.
Well, Hillary doesn't look very good in an evening gown. I'm like, I don't really care.
Right. Nor do I.
I just want her to sign something that makes everybody do the 7-minute workout every day, 3 times a day.
There you go.
If Trump did nothing else, he should make people exercise.
Now,
It's called the 7-minute workout.
Melania does look good in the dress.
Can I jump in with this?
Yeah, but Michelle didn't.
I'm just kidding.
You know what I mean? It's
I thought Michelle was pretty hot.
She was.
Not to objectify women or whatever.
Well, you can do whatever you want. That's your job.
I thought she was.
That's what men do.
It's a very tiny part of my job, though. That's all. Is to decide whether or not a woman's beautiful.
When's the last time you jerked off?
Ooh, yesterday actually. I haven't today.
Ask a woman that.
I haven't today. Really? And it's not. You don't think it says? See, I would say
no. Men think of sex every 8 minutes, approximately.
I've heard that. I have heard that. Yes.
Women maybe every 8 days. Pretty much.
So you don't think women masturbate as much as men do? I'm convinced they do.
Do you tell yourself that?
Why? Because you see it on a screen when your hands in your dick's in your hand. Yeah, she's doing it just like as me.
No, that I've come full circle with the porn thing. I'm not really.
I've come full circle.
Yeah,
it's a joke right there.
That's come with a U, ladies and gentlemen.
And then I put my penis in it when it becomes a full circle. Gosh, it's awesome.
But honestly, I don't consume as much porn anymore at all. I swear
Women
to God.
do not.
Wow.
No.
I would have guessed it was on par. But.
No
really?
way.
Honest to God, I would have. I really would have.
Do you not know a lot of women?
I mean, I know. I have 4 little sisters. I grew up around women.
This just took a turn.
So I know plenty of women. But
it didn't take a turn. This is a very pertinent conversation.
That's the sister thing, and I'm like, okay.
Oh,
yeah, but they're all adults now, right?
Yeah. And
can you ask them?
You think that we ever had the masturbation conversation?
Never, nobody has the masturbation conversation.
He would just yell the next room. Hey sis, you masturbating? No,
what are you doing right now?
And then he just mock himself off. I
was thinking about rubbing one out. What about you guys? No, but I don't.
No answer. Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Yep, they're doing it too.
When I have a girlfriend, we don't talk about masturbation because we have sex. So it's I don't know. That's one thing. I've never I don't think I've ever asked a woman like.
Ask her the next time.
Hey, how often do you masturbate? I don't think I've ever said.
No, just ask her when. You can ask her 2 questions.
Right, okay.
When's the last time you had an orgasm?
Okay.
And was it self-inflicted?
I was going to say I don't think he wants to know the answer to the first one.
Why not? When's the last time you had an orgasm? Well, it depends on whether or not you're dating.
Yeah.
If you have to ask
about 4 months ago. We've been dating,
but we've been dating.
There you go.
Damn it.
But
that's so funny.
But the reason I ask a sex scandal thing is because men are getting the shit kicked out of them.
Right.
Nice. I mean, 90% of the people that most of the people on the planet are nice people.
Of course,
you know what I mean.
of course.
Most people in this
How
country
many?
are nice. I'd say 90% are nice.
No way.
Yes, they're nice.
90% nice.
Yeah, they're nice people. They don't really bother anyone. They're not going out and shooting people. They're not blowing things up.
Wait.
Most
What?
people
You,
are
you got a
nice
low
people.
bar for nice.
I
Not
did-
shooting people. I'd say
Yeah,
like.
that's a nice thing not to do.
No, but I say you got a really low. You don't have much of a standard for nice. All you gotta do is just not shoot somebody, and you're nice.
No,
you can
but-
do a lot
Be
of other
kind
shit
to
and not be
others.
nice.
Be kind to
you can-
others. Do that.
You
I
can
mean,
also do some shitty things from time to time and still be a nice person
right.
overall.
That's true.
But what I'm saying is
You know?
that I was talking to these two guys last night, and I said, "You guys are
Excuse me.
you're guys because two white guys, and they said, you guys are at the shit end of the pole on this one, and I'm at the top. All I need to do is have a wheelchair and have a rape baby, and I'm like right up there with
Oh my
right up
God.
there, and they're like, yeah, it
You
sucks,
savage.
it sucks, and I was like, how are you guys dealing with this? Because they were probably about what are you 30?
Yeah, I'm
31.
I'm 29.
Happy birthday!
Oh, that's-
yeah, but
that's
they're
right.
getting
Happy
shit
birthday,
on. It's
Joe.
like they don't know what to do. It's like if you're a nice white guy in this country right now, you can't look at a woman, you can't talk to her, you can't compliment the outfit. It's like, what are you supposed to do? And I just found out that colleges, starting in California, are now requiring people who are consenting adults to actually
form.
tell
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
I'm kissing you now, and then I'm going to kiss your neck, and then I'm going to kiss your nipples. It's like guys have a difficult, straight guys
did you
have a
see the
difficult.
video?
No, I haven't seen
Yeah,
anything.
there's a
but
video, yeah.
straight guys have a difficult enough time, even if you're a normal, average guy, to
Right.
talk to a woman, and now you're going to have to tell her exactly what you're going to be doing.
Well,
and who wants to know? That's married sex.
What
That's how
I'm-
I'm telling you. 40 years from now, they'll be great at it. But when you're like 21, 18 to 20, it's like you're not. She talked to me.
What bothers me?
Some clothes gotta fly off. You gotta, you
Yeah.
gotta do some crazy shit.
Right, and
But-
this is a texting generation too, so it's not like you're gonna. People break up with each other on text now.
Right.
It's like that's cowardly, but that's the generation we're looking at. It's
Right.
like if you're texting someone, you can sex them,
Right.
and then what are you supposed to do? Read this and I'm kissing you now.
You can be in a relationship now and never have met the person. Like that's
Right.
how you know. What I mean,
Right.
how
That's
often does
true.
that happen?
That is
It's
true.
like absurd.
That is
right,
true.
and that's
Yeah.
crazy, but it's
It is
really
nutty.
kind of sad.
But I mean the thing is like I think always since the beginning of time, like just like you said, just with the masturbation thing, men have always been the not that we're aggressive, but we're always going to be like the aggressors when it comes to like the sex. We're seeking it much more. You know what I mean?
it's your biological imperative to be fruitful and multiply. You
Absolutely.
cannot take millions of years of evolution and go stop right now because it's the
agree.
21st century.
No, I agree, but now it's like when I don't know someone says even just a run of the mill thing, they throw out an offer for sex or something like that, and there's all of a sudden there's some sexual
An
assailants.
offer? Like
Yeah.
you're single now, right?
Right? Yes. I am.
Okay, so if you wanted to go talk to a girl,
Right.
What you have to be almost doubly careful now. It's like
Right.
it has to be in a group
If
setting.
he wants to
You
talk
have
to a girl, this is what he does. That's what he does. Just swipes to the right, and he has to talk to some girl.
Yeah, but he's not talking to her.
Right.
But in his
Exactly.
mind, that's like I am initiating a
But
conversation.
I'm talking about like even in like a bar. Or
you don't
something
go
like
up
that.
to a. You don't,
Right.
What I'm saying is
No, but I'm scared now to ask a woman to be alone in any way. Like hey, do you want to go out to my car and smoke, or do you want to go back to your place or my place? Like,
Right, because
whatever.
even if it's the most
You know what I
innocent
mean?
thing, if she doesn't like you, you do something wrong, she'll accuse you,
That's-
which is on the flip
well,
side of
not-
it.
not
well,
always, not
I know, but
always.
I'm just saying that's
Right.
always in the back of. It should be in the back of everyone's mind.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and women know this too. It's like, what?
Right.
He looked at me funny. Oh, I'm hurt.
Now,
I hate it.
Can I tell you a true story? A true story. Recently, I had a girl that I've been hanging out with, and we've been spending time together, and she actually made a comment about how she's like, why didn't you try to like initiate anything in any way, or
Why did she do it?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm completely on board with it, but she was the aggressor, and I kind of took a back seat, and she made a comment.
Women
about,
like it when men are men,
right,
not chicks with penises.
stop being a bitch,
I
James.
understand that, yeah. No, but she made a comment about a certain aspect of the intimacy, and and I was like, okay, well, next time it will be different then.
And that's the beauty of
don't worry.
communication with people that are reasonable.
Right.
But say you're a nice
Right.
guy and you don't do that, the girl could just as easily go, oh, he must be gay, or he must be this, or he must be that, because he's not initiating.
Right,
It's like
right.
women, but you know what fucked up this country? I'm going to tell you. Feminism and white guilt.
I get to an extent. You don't. You
no,
must
they're
be a
all
feminist,
intertwined.
though. You must.
Everybody's a feminist. Even if I wasn't, it's like, no, I hate women.
I agree.
Fuck those women.
No.
Yes, let's. You know. Everyone's a feminist. We grew up in. I don't like it when two things I don't like when comics are on stage. I don't like it when women say they're feminists because there's no opposite to that. You know what I mean? It's like nobody's gonna get up and say, I hate women. You know. And the other one is anyone who's under 25 who says I'm 3 years sober.
Oh my!
I'm like, I cannot stand that. I was at a show last night, and I'm like, I don't want to hear that. You're not even 25, and that means you were an alcoholic when you were like 18.
Thank you.
The question, the one thing I want to hear is basically, why have you been drinking and doing drugs or whatever it is you've been doing since you were 18?
Right.
That's where the funny stuff is, and it always gets applause. You know what I mean? It's
Of course.
Like,
Oh,
congratulations!
Of course.
It's like,
yes.
talk to me when you're 40. That's when you're supposed to be an alcoholic and a drug addict, not when you're 22.
So,
right.
You know,
right.
and there's a bunch of you guys. I mean, you guys are the generation who you're already doing stuff as a 25-year-old that Chris Farley did. You know, it's like I'm already drinking myself to oblivion, and you're not even that.
Sure.
What drives me
can't get it
nuts?
crazy.
What drives me nuts in the like comedy scene when it comes to that is the the back patting of just going like this. Oh my God, just sorry guys, just another single white guy up here, single white males, am I right? Jesus. Oh my God, aren't I the worst? I get it.
Right.
It's just like, will you stop it already? Like, just do the joke. Like, just why do you have to do the, oh, I'm sorry, that's just the white privilege speaking. It's like, God.
I was born in 1988. Okay, I was raised on fucking The Cosby Show and Full House and all that type of that modern type shit. Mm-hmm. I don't have a fucking racist or a sexist or a homophobic blood cell floating around anywhere in my body.
Yeah, you do.
I don't though. I really
You grew up
don't.
in Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Brockton though. You know what I mean?
Everybody's got it. There's a little bit of sexist, racist, whatever it is. Everybody's got it, depending on what. If some big queen, wait a minute, Cato June cornered you in an alley and put his hand on your leg, what are you gonna do?
I would not. Honest, I've had those issues before, and I've been groped by men. I have been.
Me too.
I have been. I don't doubt that for a second.
Amazing.
I don't doubt that for a second. I've been groped by men, and I was just very politely. I was like, "Listen, man, I'm not offended. I don't know what I did to make you want to do that to me, but I did not enjoy that. Right now, we have no problem at all. This is this is not an issue. Mm-hmm. But if it happens again, believe me, man, I will not be kind about it. Like that. At that point, it's a physical assault,
right?
And you're a man, and I will assault you back. Like honest to God, I have no problem.
Cato
with it.
June.
That would be.
What if he was like towering over you and he said, "I just want to kiss you"?
I would say, sir, right now we have no problems, but no. But
if you touch me again, I'm gonna have to run away.
Honestly,
right.
I had gay friends in high school. I had gay black friends in high school.
No way!
Yeah, I swear to God, I'm young enough that was a thing.
That was a thing.
It really was.
That was a thing.
So I don't know. I'm just from a different time. So people. But people do like they do. There is a sea of us, and I do get it. I mean, you don't know, you don't know. You just don't know. But it's like, at least let me commit the crime before you make me do the time. Like this is America still, right?
Yes.
I don't know. But
it is. But people are very. There's no in between. You know what I mean? It's like if you're not. I'm very conservative in certain things, but I'm not in other things. And it's like you have to be one or the other. And I'm like, no, I don't. I can be a lot of different things. There's a lot of bubbles. I'm in the black bubble, but now it's a brown bubble. And then there's the woman bubble, and then there's generation bubble. So there's all these different bubbles floating around.
Sure.
And if you pop one, you should be able to meld into the other one. But there are certain people that are in bubbles that are never going to be able. They're never going to mesh. I
really like that analogy.
So do you think there's anything like that you could not say on stage? Like
No,
there's plenty
I
of
can
shit
say
we
anything.
couldn't say.
I can say anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Seriously though.
No,
yeah.
because I think
I envy that. Honest to Christ.
Well, of course
I
you do.
But
you can't say.
You should be able to say anything you want.
But I tell the joke about being born being born a white guy and then having become a comedian. I wish to God I was black. I really do. You know what I mean? It's not even. I'm not saying you get away with more. It's just, but you do like there's something about it that you can say things that are just unavailable to people of other races, and not just white people. By the way,
we're all the same race.
The human race.
The human race.
I agree.
I can't fuck a cat and have kittens, okay? That's a different race.
But see, you and I, we're on the same page with that.
But I am a pussy.
Not many people are as funny as you about this, though, and have such an open mind, And I mean that's,
but which is sad because it's a
refreshing.
generational thing. I'm telling you, I had this conversation with this guy right in a bar a couple of years ago, and I said, everybody that's in jail now, let's just get rid of them. Well, no, I was just seeing what he was going to say, because he was a 22-year-old kid who's still living at home in a lovely, wealthy suburb. And I'm like, you know what? He's like, the prison industrial complex. I said, the prison industrial complex would be fine if we just got rid of everybody who's been in jail for more than 20 years. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I said, because those people are never going to get out and be productive members of society at all. There's a large percentage of them that are black. And I'm like, and they're men. Your point being, well, we should do this and we should do that. I'm like, we? When's the last time you worked in a soup kitchen? When's the last time you actually did anything other than bitch about the prison industrial complex?
Sure.
Do you go volunteer? Do you do this? Do you do that?
Sure.
And he's like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do because I'm not the one offering we should help them.
Right.
Who made you the boss? It's a liberal mindset that they are right. And he said, I love you, Sterling, but your ideas are fucked up. And I'm like, come talk to me when you're 40 with 2 kids.
I'm a middle-aged black woman.
I've been there.
I know about the fucking world, dude. Give me a goddamn break.
Right, and it was so
sad
me? Because he was like, patted me on the head like I was a 2-year-old. And I'm like,
on the head?
Yes, on the head. Never touch a head.
You should never touch anybody's head if they're like,
right.
an adult.
And it was so sad. I was like,
kid,
looking
you
at
probably
him going,
shouldn't do it either. But like,
I'm like, you poor thing. You have no idea what's out there.
No,
Mister, I live in my parents' basement. I don't have to work very hard. I've never been hungry. I've never had to put more than $10 of gas in the car. The Volvo, of course.
Right.
None of this stuff. And I'm like, you just don't know anything.
Right.
Do you?
Get out of here.
But he was so condescending and so sure of his opinion. And I'm like, well, what would you do with a bunch of? What are you going to do with 40,000 black men that are going to be released in the next, 5 years in Massachusetts?
Right.
What are you going to do with them? Well, we can do this. I'm like, there is no we. When I see you standing at Walpole with a sign that says free rides, that's when I'll say, and I'll pat you on the back and go, good job, we.
Yeah.
But he ain't doing shit.
Right.
So.
Right. Now, but what about I don't know. Maybe this is just white guilt saying this, but a large population of those inmates are black.
I know.
Get
rid of them.
You really think that you like the
white guilt and feminism? That's what messed up this country.
I don't know if that's white guilt though. Is it
white guilt is so white guilt?
What about those guys that are now? Here's a scenario for you. Okay, I have a friend. He's not black, but he's a Hispanic. He's going to go to jail.
Close enough.
He's going to go to jail for the rest of his life.
For killing somebody.
No. He three separate times, 3 separate felonies, okay? Selling a controlled substance to a mass state trooper.
3 strikes.
3 strikes and you're out.
Mandatory minimum, right?
Now, think about that, though. He wasn't, this guy, I'm telling you, was not a bad guy. Again, people can call him, whatever, a poisoner of the community, what have you.
Who was he?
He technically, yes.
Was he selling drugs to minors?
No. No,
he checked their ID.
He had kids. No, but I mean, he
had kids.
Though. You know what I mean. He had I agree, but he had a kid. He tried to provide for her and her mother and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, overall, a good dude.
Right.
And I bet that a lot of those black men are in jail for that same reason or something very similar.
Okay, well, I can amend that. If you killed someone, you should be dead.
No, I agree. See, I agree with that. But then there will be a lot of white guys that will be there too, though.
That's fine. Kill them too.
That's what I mean. So you can.
You know how much we'd save? It costs the taxpayers of any single state, an inmate in Massachusetts right now. It costs $55,000 a year to house that person.
Right. Okay.
If that money wasn't there and it was going to drug-related programs or whatever, we wouldn't be in a welfare state.
Right.
But we are.
I agree.
And the average citizen, middle class me, is sick and tired of paying for people to make paying for people's mistakes.
Right.
In my own family, I have nieces. I have one niece who has 5 different kids by 5 different guys. We tried valiantly 15 years ago to get her to go on some sort of birth control, just so that her kids could grow up.
She wouldn't even.
You know who showed up? The ACLU.
Wow.
They showed up because her rights. This is a 21-year-old who had already had 3 kids, and they showed up to the court and they said, "Well, we're going to protect her rights." And I'm like, "What about the rights of the taxpayer? What about the people that are actually going to have to pay for her to do things because the state's not going to help enough?"
Right.
Who's going to educate those kids? Who's going to clothe them? Well, the state will provide. I'm like, why don't we just have her close her legs for a couple of years and everything will be fine?
Just go on the pill. What is so...
No, they wanted her to go on the underarm, the 5-year. We wanted her to go on the underarm 5-year so that morons don't take pills.
Right.
Unless they get high.
Touche.
Unless there's some sort of thing that they're going to get. So anyway,
Touche.
This is a morbidly obese, undereducated, not going to do anything valuable ever.
Right.
And this is not. I have numerous.
You're just being objective. You're not.
I'm not being. I'm being. I can be anything I want because I'm the one who ends up paying. The people who have their shit together end up paying for the people who don't.
I agree.
And she was one of these people that we were trying to curb. It's like, okay, if she only has 2 more kids. This is an 18-year-old. She had a kid at 18, had another one at 19, had another one at 20. If we didn't stop her, she'd be a 25-year-old with like 10 kids.
Right. I get
and
you.
that was before Massachusetts actually just enacted over like 2 years ago said if you have more than 2 kids, we will not support the third.
Oh wow!
But all her kids are fine.
Wow!
But she was such a terrible parent.
Sure.
Her kids were taken away. But our argument was that she was 8, she was 9, she was 20. She had 3 kids.
Right.
All we wanted her to do was stop for 5 years to get the kids that she has in some sort of stable environment. And the ACLU came in and said her rights are being infringed upon. And she ended up having 2 more kids.
That is crazy.
And as family, it's like, we know her better than you do. And there was it was sort of like the kid in the bar talking about prison. I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Wow.
Well, her rights and this and that. I'm looking at it going, where'd you grow up? Oh, Westboro. Oh, great.
Right.
How many brothers and sisters do you have? Oh, I have a brother and a sister. Okay. And how many people do you know are on welfare? How many cases how long have you been doing this? This is my 3rd year. I'm working on my master's in blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, and you guys are about the same age, right? And she's 20. This girl was 24. I'm like, you're never going to be in that situation, are you? She's like, well, no. And I said, then why do you want her to be in that situation? And we're the ones who are going to have to. And she just, oh, well, the state's going to take care of her and her kids are going to be taken care of. I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not. And they didn't.
Yeah.
And she had all her kids taken away.
Right.
And she's still morbidly obese. She's still undereducated. And she's still being supported by the state. And she's maybe 30 now, which means another 30 years or 40 or 50. Smiths live a long time.
Wow.
That's her whole life of being on something.
Right.
I have another niece.
That is ridiculous.
Had 2 kids.
Yeah.
The father of her first kid was standing holding a ladder while the cops showed up. Yeah, he was the lookout guy.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 guys that he was with ran out the back door.
Right.
He was still holding the ladder. The cops should have shot him right there. Because he's an out accessory. He didn't run, even though nobody was in the house, but he's still holding the ladder.
Right.
This individual fathered a child.
He's dedicated to his job.
Right.
And now he's
That's all
in
that
jail.
is.
Now he's in jail. Okay, so then
He's a hell of a lookout guy. I will not leave.
it's like a cartoon or like a Three Stooges thing where he's still holding the ladder.
Yeah. They run out the back door and the other one gets
Told me
caught.
not to move.
Right, so he didn't.
move.
Okay, so this guy fathers a child. He goes to jail.
Right.
His girlfriend has another child with another idiot.
Somebody else.
Okay. Massachusetts, now she can only have 2 kids. Okay, the social worker says if you have another child, we will not support it, but we will do everything we can to make sure these kids are well taken care of, roof over their heads, blah blah blah. And both of them are really smart, which I don't know how stupid people have such smart kids. These kids are amazingly smart.
Right.
They're not going to go anywhere because they don't have the resources. So anyway, so my relative goes and gets a job because now Massachusetts requires if you have an apartment, you have to give us community service, or you need to get a minimum level job. She's working at Dunkin' Donuts somewhere. The manager, who's a little older than her, tells her to do something. She puts her apron down and walks out. And so a couple of weeks later, I'm like, what happened to the job? The manager told me to do something. That's what managers do.
Right.
Well, I didn't like her attitude.
Right.
And you have skills to do what?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to... And blew up. I mean, she's already huge.
Right.
Pointless. Wasted...
No. Oh my God.
Euthanasia.
Oh my God.
If they can do it to dogs, they
Euthanasia.
should be able to do it to humans.
Now, I got to be honest. This has been refreshing. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it is.
I have very interesting political views, and people don't like talking to me because they're all like, we need to do this and we need to do that. I'm like, when you start doing stuff, then you can talk to me. But until then...
I'm enjoying very much talking to you. This has been fascinating. You know, the prison thing. I agree with the prison thing, but now I think what we should do, as opposed to like killing anybody, okay? If we're gonna house anybody, okay, and we're gonna call ourselves humane or whatever, then we house these people that are violent offenders that cannot go back into society or whatever.
They should be the first to go.
But
violent offenders.
But people are going to argue against killing people, though. You know
so
what I mean?
what?
So I say
let them argue all they want.
I say,
all right, we'll put you in a ring with the violent offender, and whoever emerges wins.
I think we would save much more money though, letting out all the people in jail for stupid nonviolent.
Oh yeah,
crimes.
like the maximum minimum,
the
whatever.
3 strikes.
Yeah, they should definitely be let go.
Absolutely right.
But again, research has indicated if you're in jail for more than 5 years, the chances of you doing anything other than what you've been doing in the 5 years, especially it's also developmentally. If you go in at 18 and you come out at like 25, you basically
grow up in jail.
No, you don't. That's the whole thing. You basically your education stops. Cognitive ability stops. If you're an 18 and 28, you don't get any. You don't develop anything because there's only a limited amount of information you can learn in that situation.
Right, absolutely.
You know, and the older you are, the longer you're in, the less you actually know when you get out.
No shit.
But you also learn different, like you learn pack mentality, you learn how to survive, you learn how to weasel your way and manipulate people because there's nothing else for you to do.
Right.
I mean, I would have loved going into the service. 3 squares, a bed, and you get to work out all the time. But they wouldn't let me take my own pillow.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
You're fucking with us.
No, I'm not. I applied when I was 18. I applied for the Air Force.
And they wouldn't let you. That's why you wouldn't go, because you couldn't take your own pillow.
No.
What?
Pillow.
Why is that? Do you have some kind of OCD type thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't every comic? Everybody's got their issues.
No, my boss has.
But mine are good. I like making beds and stuff.
That's okay.
You just gave your knee shit about not taking an order from a manager, but you're like, "Can I take my own pillow?" They're like, "No." Like, well, then I can't.
Well, I was 18 too. Had I thought about it,
out of here.
Yeah, but the thing is that
sleep on something else.
Had I thought about it, I would have probably, if I'd been a little younger, if I'd been a little older, I would have been less.
Rest this mug on anything else but a government pillow? Get the hell out of here.
There's all sorts of dirty things. I don't know where that pillow has been.
This is my money maker. I'm not.
My boss is like, I mean, he's much worse than you, but he'll if I accidentally put on his glove, those gloves have to be thrown out. I need new gloves now. If someone puts on.
You work in food service?
No, I work in a mechanic.
And you have separate gloves?
Oh yeah, God yeah. Well, I mean,
I would do that.
Yeah. This guy, obviously. But even still, but if you just accidentally, we all have the same exact glove though. They're provided by the company.
Right.
We just get them, so often, and because we weld and the things just get torn to shreds. But if you accidentally pick up his glove and put it on, that's it. He can't even. He's like,
and they're expensive.
He's like throw it away.
You know what I heard someone
say? He
say?
used to put his name on his.
Not
gloves.
terribly, but it's not. If you put on his welding helmet.
I wouldn't know. No.
See?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know where your face has been.
Right.
Yeah. See?
So my thing, I had someone say this the other day, and I just couldn't believe it. They're like, "Oh yeah, sometimes if I wear socks, I wear them like the afternoon, but then I take them off. I might wear them like the next morning." I'm like, "You're out of your goddamn mind." Absolutely not.
Really?
If I wear socks for a minute and take them off, they're gone.
Really?
Yep. I need a fresh pair
underwear
for
too?
the rest of the day.
Well, you know what?
Underwear can last me the whole day. But if
thank goodness for that.
No, like
underwear.
No, I mean is like
hours.
but I don't know why I would need to like fully take them off other than to shower. But put it this way: if I wore if I had boxers in the morning and then took them off and then went to shower in the middle of the day for some reason, I wouldn't put the same pair on.
No, I wouldn't.
not.
I wouldn't either.
Nasty.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
But I mean, socks instantly, dude, they are no good. Once I put them on, that is it for me.
Wow.
If I take them, you never, ever.
See, I'll rewear, but the only ones I rewear are work socks. You know what I mean? Because
the worst ones.
No, but it's because I wear 2 pairs. You know what I mean?
So he takes off the outer one and puts the other ones. Those become the close to the skin ones, and then
not even. I'll wear the same pair of wool socks.
The outer socks
twice in a row.
Yes.
Do you have?
I will do
okay.
that.
Do you have redhead socks?
Redhead socks.
Redhead. Have you ever heard of the brand Redhead?
I wear Realtree actually.
Okay, so
And Dickies.
go down
makes a
to
good sock.
the Bass Pro Shop and get yourself
That's-
a pair
I
of
got-
Redhead socks. They are the greatest socks.
Redhead.
Period. I've never
kidding.
worn a better pair of socks. They
Now,
are the
are they
thickest.
wool?
I don't know what they are, but they're magic.
They're
Is what they are.
they're probably a blend.
These days,
They
absolutely.
are thick socks. And they have like a warranty where like if they rip within the first like 30 years, you can return them and get
Ooh,
them.
I love
It's
that.
absurd.
Get the fuck
do
out
that.
of
I
here.
swear to God.
That's
You can do that.
Who warranties socks?
Redhead. That's who
Redhead does.
That's a good
Damn
product,
it!
yeah.
We need to get them on
That
as
is
a
a good-
sponsor.
I would if that,
I would love that.
that's my
Sponsor
goal.
I.
The only reason why I'm doing this
That'd
is
be
to get a
awesome.
Redhead sponsorship so I could just wear this shit constantly.
That's awesome.
That's all. I don't want anything else. I don't want money. I just want Redhead socks.
That's what I want.
That was a nice plug for Redhead.
Actually, technically, you only really need like one pair. Apparently,
Yeah.
that's really all you need.
How do they do underwear yet?
I don't know. They do like they're mainly in like hunting. I think like
Yeah,
clothing.
Bass Pro Shops.
Yeah, but I'm telling
That's
you,
what
dude.
my real.
Quality.
You wear two pairs of socks, you only need one pair of Redhead
Really?
socks. I swear to God.
Okay.
Unless you're
I
gonna
don't-
rotate, and
I
then
don't
you
know.
need to.
I'm out. We work like almost outside, pretty much. You know, like because
Well, it's in a
Get
shop
it.
type of thing,
well,
right?
yeah, we'll weld a lot, and when it gets, when you get metal smoke, you can't be breathing it in. So we open up the garage
Do you have a
doors.
respirator?
Yeah, yeah.
Telling
But
you.
even you still have to open the doors, and it ends up put it this way: everyone there who we work, indoors. Everyone dresses like they're gonna be outside. I wear
Yes.
2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs
Yeah,
of
yeah.
socks, 3 shirts.
I'm sure the door's
hoodie.
open constantly. And
Like,
you're always-
dude, every 10 minutes you gotta
It's
open
so
the door.
manly.
It's
You're a dying breed, you know.
Hey, give us a Tim Allen real quick, you loser.
I love it.
That's
Now,
it.
you said I'm a dying breed.
Yes.
And you really do. You feel that way?
Yeah,
You do? Okay.
look at the
Of course.
generation of the
Yeah.
25
Yeah.
and downs. Where you don't even have any real male role models. If you're 35 and below, name 5 men that you can actually. I mean, I grew up with John Wayne, Paul Newman.
Yeah.
the men, but
Right.
American
Paul
men.
Newman
don't-
was a gentleman. He wasn't a
yeah.
man. He was a man, but he was just like the shit.
Right.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He was
know,
a man. But think about it.
Charitable,
Even
but,
George Clooney, I mean, that's the tail end of the male
Sure.
spectrum. But it's like Tom Selleck. I mean, I can
Yeah.
name, I can just keep going. I mean,
I did-
Patrick Stewart.
I did watch a lot of
Sean
men, yeah.
Connery.
Yeah.
I'd even say Robert Downey Jr. is probably the tail end of the men because, but he does an amazing role. If you ever saw Chaplin, he's an amazing
wow.
actor.
I'm trying to think
No, I
of
didn't
some.
know. He played-
That's an amazing.
Played
he's-
Chaplin?
We
Yes.
got
Wow.
we
an
got
amazing
we got
actor.
Shia LaBeouf.
That's not a man.
God, dude.
You
talking
can
about?
have him. Name 5 men.
He's
that you
batshit crazy. He's a.
Yeah,
that
he
are
did.
21st
I think I'd
century
put.
men.
No,
No, I mean,
guess
because
not.
if you no, but she is right though, because the only ones we had there,
I know exactly what you mean.
right? Like,
Because
we got like Vin Diesel and The Rock, and it's like, dude,
2.
John Hamm.
Oh, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm talking big. I'm talking like John Wayne, like known worldwide.
Right.
Mad Men
You
was
know,
a,
right.
the Marlboro
Yeah.
Man. Everybody knows the Marlboro Man, even if you
Sure.
just, even if you never smoked anywhere in
The
the, world.
Brawny
If you
Man.
see a logo,
right.
No, I feel
even Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, if you,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like men. I mean, he was kind of a dick.
Hulk Hogan.
but yeah, he's a man, but
Yeah.
he's not
The Macho
I'm
Man.
talking universal
yeah.
male role
I know what you're
models.
saying. I get what you're saying.
Name one that's in a 21st century male icon.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
not from my century. I'm 20th century girl.
any
you
of
guys
mine,
are 21st century.
Any of mine were athletes, always. You know,
Yeah.
so
But I'm also talking universal.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because not everyone knows, guys in the NHL or
Right.
whatever. I know what you mean.
right,
There's
and
no
there
one-
you guys don't have that. I mean, for women,
Right.
that's what I mean. Feminism and white guilt. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Yeah, but my generation was the one where, ladies, you can have it all. But my kids
Sure.
are the ones that are like, I can't have it all. And like, no, you can't.
It does.
But,
It does take some time
Right.
to catch on. Yeah. It does, it's like,
right, it takes a generation.
Exactly.
It's like, and the same thing with guys. It's like, but the screwed up thing about 21st century men is that what is it? Women want men that look like Fabio. I mean, women want. I mean, you know who Fabio is?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The
Yes.
long.
Yeah.
It's like the Harlequin romance.
he was
they
on the
want
cover of those
basically
novels.
they want feminism convinced a bunch of women that they want men who are like Fabio with dicks. They want pretty. They want like Brad Pitt,
Right.
but they want a sensitive Brad Pitt.
Right.
They don't want Fight Club Brad Pitt, even though they really do want Fight Club Brad Pitt.
Right.
But they want what's the devil one where he plays the devil? Or the Legends of the Fall one, where he's long hair and he's sensitive and blah 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 blah. That's the case. And even if they say, even if I'm a feminist, it's like, yeah, but women still want to be taken. You know what I mean? They still want to be like, I want someone to kiss me like with force versus. Can I kiss you? Because insecurity is not attractive.
Right.
Confidence is attractive, even if it's cocky confidence. I think, and if you put a bunch of women in a room with a bunch of guys, they're gonna go for the one that the guys are all surrounded and the guy that's telling the story. They're not gonna be with them. They don't want to be with the listeners. They want to be with the guy going, and now I do this, and all the guys are like, ooh, and the girls are like, oh, he's all this and that, but that's the girl. That's the guy they want to go home with.
Sometimes people like that guy's fucking obnoxious. But
but he's also the one who gets the attention. It's very pack mentality, and humans are very pack oriented.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
It is so fascinating.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's crazy, but it's great that again, and you know what? It takes please don't take this the wrong way, but it takes a woman who's like your age, who can really. You know what the fuck you're talking about.
Old enough to be your mother.
And that's a great thing.
Yeah, but I've got an ass like a girlfriend that you'd want.
Oh my God! No,
you don't need to look any further with that. Is what was it? Burt Reynolds posing on a bearskin rug with like no grooming done whatsoever.
No grooming.
You know what I'm saying? Like
he
he was just hit everything, and he was like, "That's a fucking guy."
That's a guy. That's
and
a
you know
man.
what? Women loved him, and now you could never do that in a million years, and that have be.
Well,
like
you could. You definitely could.
Yeah, but it would not be like he's Burt Reynolds. It wouldn't be.
Right, but
everyone
you
would
could
just laugh at that picture. They'd be like, look at that. It's like ridiculous.
No, it depends on who the guy is. David Beckham could definitely do that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's not covered in hair and has chops and a mustache.
Right.
He's like perfectly groomed and like all that. Like that's when you're saying the man's man, like that kind of idol.
So name your men.
This fucking guy.
Oh, I love that. I remember that was Playgirl.
That's exactly it. Right. Yeah.
Playgirl.
Dude, look. Oh, is that what it was?
Yep.
What I'm saying is
Playgirl Centerfold.
Okay.
1977.
Is there anyone that you could
I have
possibly put
Wow.
that? Like, what could you say? Like now,
David Beckham.
He is covered in hair,
But
dude.
what I'm saying is the man's man thing. Like, who could do that now?
David Beckham.
Hair and all and everything. And
David
beat up.
Beckham.
But he's not
But
hairy.
he doesn't have like he's
Yeah, but
not.
he's pretty.
That doesn't look like that.
But he's covered in tats, though.
Yeah,
That's
he's
the
covered in
point.
tats.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he's perfectly smooth.
Yeah.
That's why.
He's perfectly smooth.
See, this is the thing. Like, I'm very hairy, and I just recently
can see that.
for the first time. Well, not just this.
Yeah, just like Bert.
All the exactly. And I just recently because
Groomed?
I was very.
Yeah, he looks just like Brett.
He does. I think you should do that pose. I have a rug.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Excellent. Well, main stage at Improv Boston.
Oh my!
Hey, you can do the naked show.
There you go. See, there you go.
You know what?
No,
what if you did the naked show, but you just like posed like that, and we just wheeled you out, and that's just how you did your whole set. You just didn't move. You just stay like
You
that.
could
with the
definitely do
microphone.
that.
I'm down for that. I'm down for
You could have a girl like throwing rose petals before you.
wheels you out.
As you're speaking, just throw them on you. Two girls with fans and
That
just
would be
sit there.
hilarious. Can I get to this goddamn story real
Go.
quick? I want to say.
Why are we running out of time?
No. But I just want to get to it. Now I recently had my back waxed because I'm very insecure about my back hair.
Feels good.
It does. The chest hair.
And it didn't hurt that much, did it?
Not at all. The chest, I think, would be a bitch. You know what I mean? But the back
Well, you
was
could
fine.
do the zzz.
Yeah, but I don't really have a desire to that much, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Okay.
I like the back thing bothers
They do
me,
your
though.
butt too?
No, just my
You
back.
don't have a hairy butt?
No, I don't actually. My
It stops right at the belt line.
my lower body is not crazy hairy, but my upper body is. It's weird. It's fair. I feel
Do
like
you man shave?
feel like
Do
it's
you
an Irish
manscape?
thing. A little bit.
You don't really need to. Nobody gives a shit about that. They don't.
Yeah, but again, my lower body isn't crazy, hairy.
It just stops right there.
Burt Reynolds is but like Burt Reynolds' thighs though.
Oh, yeah, he's all the way down.
Yeah,
He's hairy from
my
top to bottom.
My legs are hairy, but my thigh or my lower leg is hairy. My thighs aren't really crazy hairy. It's weird. That's a very
You want to hear a
it's a very
funny story
Irish
about
thing.
that?
I feel like is the back and chest hair. But go.
Good job.
About
Thank you.
manscaping. I think this is like me and my wife. We had been together for like 3 or 4 years, And then we were like laying in bed one time after, doing it. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I look, I said it'd be funny. I'm not saying
Doing it.
So I look and I go, should I trim my pubes? And she goes, now? Like, it's kind of like, we've been together for 3.5 years. Now you're going to do it? Are you shitting me? She just laughed in my face.
Right.
She
Why
was
bother?
like, now? Are you kidding? Like, why didn't you do that? Like, I don't know, and just give up as you go. Like,
Right.
what the hell's the matter with you?
That is hilarious.
So like, a little late now. I don't really give a shit, obviously. I just
Right.
like, yeah, I guess I was stupid, but
I don't think it's a big issue.
No,
But,
obviously.
hey,
Well, I don't know. It's just
I have a
funny.
good trivia question for you. Who was the one man who made shaved pubes in women popular?
Ooh, I see. I heard.
It was in the
I'll go with-
20th century.
I'll go with Larry Flint.
I heard that. All right. I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying. Now,
And it's a man. So if you're a feminist and you shave, you're falling right into the patriarchy.
Okay. Now I'm gonna guess Hugh Hefner.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. Now, but see,
He
I
was
heard.
the one who showed a naked bush in 1980, I think it was 1984, maybe.
Okay.
It's not that old, and it hasn't been.
So
See,
you know
I
what's
heard
amazing
What?
is that happened in 1984 before the internet, and word just spread. Like
Well,
they said,
No,
but they had the
magazine.
magazine out, and everyone was
Yeah.
just like, "Did you see this shit?" And then I'm
Right.
going to get my girl to do that. I'm going to get my girl. I'm going to get the girl, and then it just eventually.
Now
Right.
here's what I heard. Here's what I heard happened was the
centerfold.
right, the shave thing, and then someone I heard a story that like some woman who owned a salon in New York. She was from Brazil, and
Brazilian.
people were talking about getting their vaginas shaved and all that, and she was like, no, just get the Brazilian wax.
Right.
And they're like, what the hell is that? And that's how the Brazilian came
Brazilian,
about.
right.
But it was because the
Hugh.
the no hair look became popular, and women were shaving, and she's like, no, that's how you get all sorts of
But the
irritation,
model that
blah, blah,
did
blah.
that only did
You know?
it because she knew she was doing the photo shoot, and she fucked up.
What?
She went, "That's you,"
Oh,
and then she was like,
it's like
so she had to shave it all. She had to shave it all off, and he was like, she was like, no, I don't really want it. And he's like, no, let me see. And she's like, let's do it.
right. It's like, it looks fine.
Pioneer.
Fuck it. Right, yeah.
Hugh
right.
Hefner was
No,
like, "Let me
wasn't
see
he-
it,"
Right.
and she
He's
was like,
"Come
and
on,
he goes,
pop it up.
"I like
That's
it. It's gonna work.
It's gonna take
We're
off."
on to something here.
Right.
You might have just stumbled upon some just
And
history."
she did. It was a worldwide phenomenon. I mean, although 17th century and 16th century French women did it, but they started shaving their legs first. And then
Really?
and only courtesans did it.
See,
until-
that's hilarious because the French are known for not shaving their legs or armpits. So,
right.
wow.
Well, they're wealthy French.
Wow. Okay, sure.
Yeah, because it's
Not-
cliche
not the stinky
for
poor
to
people.
to
Yeah.
do it at that point for the
Sure.
French.
Yeah.
Not the stinky poor people.
Now there is a huge movement. I see a lot of girls on Instagram who don't shave their armpits anymore.
I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever.
whatever. Yeah, right. Whatever.
Yeah, but it's like if you all right, you don't shave these. Do you shave that?
Yeah, I don't even care about that. I'm actually getting into.
So
I'm
you're
getting into
all the
pubic
way
hair.
or no way at all. That's what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
if you're either gonna
Yeah.
you maintain everything
Do the
or
whole thing.
nothing.
You got the razor. What the hell? You're in
Now,
the shower. Just go for it.
I am down with a lot of girls are also growing their pubic hair out, and I'm on board with that. I'm cool with that.
I'm
I
half
feel
and half.
like
I'm
now-
half and half. I like a nice.
Like if you want to
Manicure.
right? Yeah, if you want to manicure, that's fine. But like, yeah, okay. I actually agree. I guess, yeah, because
I don't like
if
it
it's
when
some
it's all
crazy,
icky.
yeah, right. It shows that you're not taking care of yourself in any way. Okay,
Right.
You're
stinky.
I agree with that. I
If
agree.
it goes over your panty line,
Okay.
no, I'm not
okay.
touching that.
I agree
And
with
only
that.
because, and the reason that I do that is because when I was I lived in California for a little.
Well, you did
when I was
bodybuilding
in-
competition, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
Well,
must
yeah,
have
that,
been
that
like-
was, yeah, we did that anyway.
Yeah, because
but-
it's so far up there with the bikinis and everything. You
Right.
must be like, oh god.
yeah, it's basically a butt floss and
Yeah.
Band-Aids.
So you were around when the thong just started to get like.
I was a
huge.
thong maniac.
Pioneer,
I was.
an advocate.
But when I was 16, I lived in California. My brother moved to California, and his wife, they're all earthy crunch. She didn't shave anything, and she came out of the house and she had a bathing suit on, and her bush was so
Right.
odd out there. I'm like, that is disgusting.
Right.
And it was
said
all
it
it
out
went
loud.
down her legs. She had hair. Yeah, but they were
Yeah.
hippies, and it's like.
And they
No, that's never going to happen to me.
Wow.
And that was
wow.
pre. I didn't really have hair back then.
Right, no,
but that was
you were like,
pre-hair.
when
I'm
I
like,
do,
I'm not doing that.
right.
That's just yicky.
Oh my god.
And she had hairy legs, and I like smooth.
Sure. No, I mean hairy legs. I mean, that I don't know. I guess
in the wintertime that's fine, but in the summertime,
It's funny. It's amazing. Like your brain just gets like we were talking about the evolution of man and everything like that. It's amazing how your brain just gets programmed that way. That it's like that's not attractive. This is attractive. That's amazing.
Well, that has changed throughout history too, because fat women used to be really in the.
But I'm saying it's amazing how that sorts.
Renaissance, a healthy fat woman was considered attractive because people were starving, and if you were fat, it's like follow that woman.
You're rotund.
You could rear children.
No, it's fat.
Right.
Okay, let's not. And I'm not talking PHAT fat.
No, but
when
you see
fat.
when you see like the old paintings and stuff, I wouldn't say they're fat, but they're plump ladies.
Right. They're Rubenesque, it's called.
Right.
Oh.
Because they were all big.
Yeah.
But like Mae West, big. Not.
Who's Mae West?
You don't know who Mae West is?
Oh, was she in? Give me something.
She's from like the 40s.
Right?
She's in like the 40s. Dime piece, though.
Let's see.
Straight up.
The Guess woman. The Guess jeans woman. Anna Nicole Smith.
Okay.
Would be considered a perfect model for the Rubens.
All right. Okay.
Because she was big, but not massive. She
Yeah.
was a big girl. Cow-fed. Iowan.
You should look up Abigail Radford. She's an Instagram model. I think she's the hottest woman in the world right now.
Is she big?
Hands down. She's got a lot of curves, but she's definitely
yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Abigail Radford.
Yes.
Abigail Radford.
She's an Instagram model. I think she's
she a big girl?
Easily. She's like, I would not classify her as a big girl.
That's the chick from Parks and Rec. Hold on.
Oh, I would not classify her as a big girl, but I would say she is not model skinny.
Curvy.
She's curvy.
She's like Sophia.
She's tall. Like she's not
Sophia
at all.
Vergara. Right?
Yeah.
Sophia Viagra.
I would say that's a solid comparison as far as like body
Viagra.
type. Viagra.
I always
Vergara.
follow that.
Vergara.
I know, but I like Viagra because any guy who sees her automatically gets hard.
She is gorgeous.
Yeah. Do you think that's? I mean, I don't want to even think of that. I don't want to even think of erectile dysfunction. Like that's going to happen to. It comes to everybody, right?
No, it doesn't.
Why
It
not?
comes to everybody. No, it doesn't.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm not that
I can't
lowbrow.
find this girl anyway, dude.
No, not necessarily.
No.
I don't know. I'm not a guy.
Now, I've heard that most erectile dysfunction, or not most, I believe half actually.
Is in the big head?
Exactly.
It's in the big head.
Exactly.
Is that like they say back pain is like 80% mental? Or something?
Exactly. I've heard that most men they have it. They're like, oh, I'm getting up in age. And
Right. My husband
now
has that.
all of a sudden, right? You get.
But he got over it.
Exactly. Exactly.
A little slap and tickle is fine. That's all.
So now, how long have you been married?
30 years.
Wow, really?
You say 30 or 13?
3-0.
Whoa.
Wow. So were you married to him when you were still doing road stuff and all that, or was that
No,
behind you?
we've
at that point?
been together. We've only been married for I don't even know, but no, we've been together for 30 years.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And then we got married on our 13th anniversary.
Okay,
That's cool.
But we lived together
That's
like
good.
a year after we started.
You spent a long time.
So
together
was he
before you got
a
married.
musician? Did you meet him
Yes,
as a
he's a
roadie?
musician.
Of course he
Bass
was.
player.
Of course he was. They get all the chicks.
I was seeing the drummer, and then I broke up with the drummer and started seeing the bass player.
Oh wow.
Oh, wait, the bass guy landed the lady? That doesn't happen often.
Sure it does. The rhythm section always gets the girls, the drummer and the bass player, or the lead singer.
What about the lead guitarist? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Depends on whether or not he's a dick.
What about Jimmy Page? Wow. Now,
Jimmy Page was all right. But when I met him, and I've said this on stage, and you might have heard that before, when I met him, I was 170 pounds, jacked. And he was 130. I was a competitive bodybuilder, and he was a 132-pound drug mule. I saw a bag of cocaine that was a Ziploc bag, like this big. I'd never seen so much coke that was uncut, and it was a rock. And he worked for these two
He wasn't a
Colombian
dealer.
guys.
He was just, just moving it on.
No.
Middle guy.
He didn't sell it.
holding
He just
for his
moved
friend,
it.
you know?
That's why he likes anal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my
I
God.
can just see him struggling with his bass, and Sterling's like, "Hey, let me
Give
get
me
that."
that. He hated it. He hated the fact that I was huge. I was compared to the refrigerator,
Perry.
something.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
looked,
Yeah, the
I
refrigerator
looked
Perry.
just like him.
Was this like around 1985?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah, it was
bass,
huge.
yeah.
I was
Refrigerator Perry
massive.
was at his
Right,
at his peak.
Was he the Bears or the Packers?
Bears.
The Bears.
He was a lineman, and then they moved him to fullback,
Right.
and he would just
Yeah,
punch
but
it
I
at
was
the goal line.
jacked. I looked just, a female version of him. And I
That's
have a
hilarious.
picture of me and my husband, and I have my arm around him, and I'm like,
You
"Ugh,"
got
and he's like,
locking him a noogie,
Did you make him marry you? That's what it sounds like. Sounds like he was like you like.
No.
He didn't like this. He didn't like that. He especially didn't like it when I held him to marry me.
Oh my god, that's fucking funny, man.
No, he was a nice guy. He's still a nice guy. He's a Boy Scout. He's like
You bass
amazing.
player, you're coming with me.
Yeah, right.
Just amazing.
So,
that's right.
Is he still playing music? Well,
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Whatever.
He's not in a band, though. I wish he was in a
Any
band.
projects you can plug of his or anything?
No,
Like, okay,
no, because
okay.
he does it all for himself. It's
Sure.
like,
No, that's fine. Hey.
no, it's not. It's like if you got something to say, you should play it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? He's got amazing amount of catalog.
He's not publishing.
He's
but
trying
still,
to figure out the
okay.
SoundCloud thing because I
Okay.
have another nephew of mine.
It's all free. You can put your shit out there. You know.
One is hip hop artist, and he's won Artist of the Year the last 3 years in a row
Where's this?
in Boston.
Really? Who awards?
Boston Music Awards.
No way! I didn't know we had one.
Yeah.
What?
Did you know there's a porn award too in Brookline every
Just
year?
in-
There's a porn. I love going to that thing. It's the nicest people.
What?
They're really, really intelligent.
What?
They're not that like sticky, disgusting porn. Porn is done.
Sure.
A couple of years ago, I went to my first one, and they used to call it the PMAs, but they changed it to something else, and they put on through Good Vibrations, the sex shop in Brookline.
Okay.
And it used to be at the Coolidge Corner Movie House, and then I went there with a friend of mine. I saw it.
How many people go to this?
I saw it in the Phoenix. It's packed. It's usually sold out. Saw it in the Phoenix, and I said, "Hey, let's go to the porn awards."
Wow.
So we went. I met one of the most beautiful couples I've ever met. A BU student, both two BU students. They were both working on their masters. Gorgeous. They'd started doing right when the internet couples, not even the internet, when there'd been a couple when they were undergrads. They met.
Sure.
They're gorgeous. He was a triathlete. She was a cheerleader or something. Very smart. They were both working on their masters. They'd been doing couples porn videos for like 5 years, and they had a huge following, and they were the most articulate. They had no student debt.
Right.
And they'd
Right.
been doing it since they were probably maybe 20 or 21.
Right.
And they were now like 25, 26.
Sure.
And they were gorgeous.
Right.
And they were it was just a
So-
really funny. And
So who goes to the who
the
would
people
go?
that perform in them.
Right,
And people
right,
that
but-
are fans.
But like,
And
are
people
they-
like me that just go to see things like, hey, there's a porn award. Let's go.
Corbett's asking because it's like, well, so how do you get
but-
invited to this? Because I don't think I could just walk up
Yes,
to the
you
door and be
can.
like,
We
hey,
did.
I'd like to come to the awards.
we
Because they'd
did.
be like, get the
No, we did. Because it's not like they don't show porn movies. It's just
I
an
know
award
that.
ceremony.
I'm just saying, look at him. Would
But
you
it's-
allow
They'd
him?
let him in.
Oh, all
They're
right.
non-discriminatory. Everybody likes porn.
No, but it's
even if they don't
always-
admit it.
Is it just is everyone? All right, anyone who's nominated is from Boston. Is that what you're saying? Is that
I
how-
think
is
it's
that
East
how it
Coast.
works?
I think it's East Coast.
Okay, see that. Okay, that's what I'm wondering. That's
Yeah, I
what-
think
okay.
it's East
Because I know
Coast.
they have the one in Vegas, the AVNs.
Yes.
So I'm like, all
That's
right,
a
so
spin-off
how-
of that,
How does it?
the same
right,
idea.
Is it just local stars or people that?
I think the people that
You
go to
know?
that one get to go to the Vegas one too, depending
Okay.
on how big they are. But
Right.
it's an
Okay.
amazing. I
Okay.
didn't think it would be as skeezy as it was, and it was. I mean, I thought it was going to be, and it wasn't.
Right.
It
right.
was like very well done. The
Wow.
food was great. The people were
That-
nice. Everybody was dressed up.
That's so funny.
It
No, we
was.
didn't
Like-
talk, we haven't
That's
talked
so
about that.
funny.
You're a chef, correct?
I am.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm a personal chef.
Wow.
I work for the wealthy in Winchester.
Oh,
I've been
wow.
there for 15 years. I've done everything. I'm a 50s housewife.
What is your favorite dish or favorite style to
I
make?
don't have one.
You're not like I like making Mexican. I like making like.
No, this is what we had last week. We had Brazilian. I do menu for 4 days, Monday through Thursday. Last Monday we had Brazilian chicken, which was in a coconut sauce with diced tomatoes and ginger.
Mm-hmm.
Then we did pasta with meat sauce, and then the day after that I did chicken enchiladas. And then yesterday I did shrimp scampi.
So
and
do you have
today-
free reign as a personal chef, or do
Yeah,
they
of course.
request stuff?
They can request anything they want. They're getting what Sterling wants to make. That's it. And they have to have fish once a week.
Is that your?
It's 8 boys
Oh, okay.
and mom
Whoa.
and dad.
So do you just you make the menu?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And you say this is it for the.
I make the menu. I should have made it today because I might not. This school day. Snow day tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
But I make the menu on Monday through Friday. I make it on Thursday. I'm not there on Friday. They look at it. They figure out They don't have any much to say. They can request things,
Yeah.
That's cool.
but nobody does.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
Because
probably
they
just,
like what
yeah.
you make. They just trust you to make what
Yeah.
you make.
It's
Sometimes
good,
they
it's
don't-
good to have some variety in there anyway. You know,
No, every day is-
Sometimes it is good to just be told this is what dinner is.
No, this is no.
Yeah.
This is, they should always be told that.
No, I mean, when you're a child, yeah, I agree. You know,
Up until you
Yeah.
get the hell out of the house.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
You-
yeah.
This
Well,
is not a restaurant.
yeah.
I was a nanny for years in Winchester. This is how I got this job, and I'm like, nope.
Right.
And the parents are like, well, she wants this. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
When she starts paying the mortgage, she can tell me what she wants.
Yeah,
Up until that,
let her
she has
develop-
no opinion.
Right.
Other than you can wear those socks and you can wear that. And other than that, and the parents that agreed with me, we had a really good relationship. But I also had a parent. Over the summer, because I don't work in the summer, I work in the school year.
Sure.
I had a client who has 2 kids, and this is such an awful epidemic that's happening. It's a bunch of parents ask their 4-year-old what they want for dinner.
Yeah, right.
And most kids want chicken fingers, tater tots, and
That's what
no
I'm saying.
vegetables.
That's what I was just about to say.
So-
they'll find the 3 things they like, and they'll
Right.
they'll do that.
So
every
these 2
time,
parents,
you know?
they're really well. They're very well to do. She's a physician. Actually, they're both one's a doctor, one's a PhD, and I don't know what happened, but in a generation, we've gone from being parents to our kids to being pals. So their kids will sit at the table, and I want chicken fingers, and this is like a 7-year-old. I'm like, you're an adult. They eat that or they don't.
Right.
We were growing up, and that's how we did it. So they hire me to come in and talk and try to get their kids to eat more food. And this
Right.
happened over the summer, 8 weeks. I said, this is what's going to happen. They're going to break your heart. They're gonna say they're hungry.
They're gonna
They're gonna cry. They're
right.
but you have to stay strong. Otherwise, what's gonna end up happening is your kid, by the time he's maybe 10, 11, or 12, is gonna have to start taking Imodium AD. He's gonna have to take Prilosec because he's not eating any vegetables. It's all
Yeah.
processed foods. She's
Iron
not eating
deficiency.
fruit.
Right.
Yeah, all these crappy
Whole
things.
nine,
And
whole
the
nine, yeah.
and the weird thing is that I nanny for the person right across the street from where this family is, and their kids are now. I nanny for them when they were little, and now their kids are 10 and 13, and both kids have to take stool softeners because there's no fiber in their diets.
Right.
And this is like, it's stool softeners for someone like that's 90.
Yeah.
Not someone
Right.
that's 10. And so I'm explaining it to the mom. This is years ago. I said, if you don't start getting them to drink water, eat vegetables, and a variety of foods, they're going to have problems attributed to someone that's 50, 60, 70 years old when they're in their teens. And it's
Right.
not going to get any better. And I actually just found out it's called parent-enabled eating disorder. They
Yep.
call it PED.
Yep.
And it's basically because if your mom doesn't like eat meat, or she's obsessive about this, she transfers all that stuff.
Right.
And again, these are all people that are growing up in our generation. It's like,
Right.
these are parents that should know better.
Right.
The mom puts the food down, you eat it or you don't. You're not going to die if you don't eat dinner for 3 days.
Right.
But so these 2
Right.
kids, this couple, right, the guy's from South Africa, and he's like, my mom is a single mom, I'm a only child, she puts down what I eat it. My wife here, total opposite. I said, you guys got to get on the same page because
Yeah.
there needs to be some sort of, your kids are not in charge of you.
Right.
But no, the
Right.
mom's like, it's killing me. So what I did was, over the summer, the first day I was there, I told the kids, I sat down the kids at 7, 10 or whatever, and I said, I'm going to make you meals, and if you don't eat it today, you're going to eat it for the next, until you eat it. That's the rule.
So that
it
my
worked.
grandfather did that to my father.
That's a
Made him
good
eat
one.
eggs.
That's a good one.
He made him eat eggs for like 2 days straight that he didn't finish from like the breakfast. Like he goes, so it's just sitting on the counter until it's done. You can't have your next meal.
Right.
And he ended up getting sick because he was eating eggs that just sat out there. But
Right.
Does he eat eggs now?
Yeah, but he hates hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, yeah,
too.
but how
I
do
don't
you
too.
think of eggs?
I don't like
My
hard-boiled eggs either.
sister, for any like parents out there, any like tips, but my sister has a great saying with the kids like don't want to do something. She goes, you don't have to like it, but you do have to
do
try it.
Right.
You do have to try
Right.
it.
And you're not
I
going
don't
to
care.
die if you
Right.
don't eat it. And so, of course, over the course of the summer, it worked for the 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I said, if it doesn't work, my relationship with my parents are, look, it's like a pair of shoes. They look great in the store. You put them on there, and then you get them home, and they don't feel well. You return them. And I told this to the parents. I haven't heard from them in months. And I said, I feel bad because your kids are going to be, you're doing something, you're doing a disservice to your children.
You really are.
And they don't even know it. But again.
You know what parents hate to hear?
What?
That they're not parenting their kids correctly.
I know, but the thing is that.
I know. I'm just saying that's exactly where they're at. They're probably like,
Right, but this is all a result. This is all the result of us, of my parents telling. I do comedy because my mom never said she loved me. I didn't get breastfed. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And once you have kids, you can do all the things your parents never did. And this is what's happening now.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
like you have kids, and it's like, well, I didn't get this every day. And I'm like, and you came, and you're all right, right?
So should it be like every other generation is good? Like
Every generation has its pluses and minuses, but there are
Yeah.
certain things that you, as a parent, if you're my age or even your age, it's like the kids aren't running, the inmates, and I think of it, it's now the inmates are running the asylum. We've got kids that
I also like. My wife wants to have like 3. She's like, I want to have 3 kids,
Three's good.
and I was like, I'm not getting outnumbered. There's 2 of us, 2 of them.
No, you
I
should
don't
do
want
3,
to be.
odd numbers
No.
good. Yeah, because then if you have an odd number of kids, and not only is it if you have. I've been doing
Someone's
this for
left
30
out.
years.
Someone's left out.
Nope, someone's an individual. If you have 3 kids,
That's another good way of saying left out.
No, they're not.
No,
no.
one of them's
the best
individual.
kids. The best family dynamic is 3 kids.
Is that true?
Yep. Research has indicated that because if you have a 3rd child, if you have 2 kids, they're always competing against each other.
I think I think that is healthy for them.
No, because some of them don't. Because the parents tend to side. If it's 2, I've seen this way too many times for it to be convincing.
My niece is constantly just trying to like one up each other. It is obnoxious.
Right.
How badly they compete.
Right.
I mean, one tells her that my older niece told my older niece that she's like, "That's why my hair's better than yours." And she said it
right,
like
but
right
that
proud.
also
I was like, "Oh,
right." But the one that always
vicious.
But think about it. The one that always loses becomes resentful and insecure.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, they do.
But you know what? She's funny.
Great.
go
So
a
she's
long
going to be
way.
insecure. She'll never. But anyway, no. The best families are with odd number kids. Doesn't matter if it's 5, but that way, even if you have 3 daughters or whatever, it's good to have. It's good to have a boy if you got a daughter, right?
I have a daughter, yeah.
So you need to have a son and then another transgender or whatever. But
I need to have a son. I would love to have a son. I love having a daughter.
every guy wants a son. Why?
course.
Who knows?
Oh
In
my
this
God, of
environment,
course.
you're better
I
off with
don't-
girls because guys they don't have any
No.
role models
I don't
except
even have
dads.
I don't have a kid at all. But when my sister and my brother-in-law, they did their baby's gender reveal.
Yeah.
And I
hate that. I
was
think
literally
it's so stupid.
white knuckling it, and she
Boy,
and
boy,
they
boy,
pulled
boy,
out-
boy.
they
Why
pulled
can't
out-
they just wait till it pops out like normal people?
No, that's
I
what they
waited.
did. They
Good, you
but
should.
they pulled out the card. It was a blue card, and I was just like, yes, like I was so fired up.
So actually,
And,
I did not wait. My wife waited.
No,
everybody
yeah,
else waited.
yeah.
I
You
knew
knew?
I had to know.
I knew you were having a
not
daughter,
good.
dude. I knew it.
I had to
You
know.
knew it.
Yeah,
I
I
knew
could.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but why
you
is
could-
it that you want a guy?
You could tell.
It's very
just-
primal.
Just
to
just,
want a male.
It's just, something that I feel like I have much more to offer. The boy, obviously. That's
Why?
That's all.
Advice wise,
Right.
just bonding experiences.
You
I
can
I
bond with
agree
your-
with you.
You can
Absolutely.
bond with girls.
You absolutely can. I'm
Oh,
not saying
100%.
you can't. I'm just
And
saying.
he'll come to your daughter being your firstborn and everything. That you're gonna do. You're gonna be one of those fucking,
Yeah, it's already
progressive
it's already a
dads.
problem.
Right.
Dude, we
yeah,
were-
Oh, he's already a sucker.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
one of those like
Sucker.
I can't think of who
It's called a sucker.
Protective.
not even. No,
No,
I'm trying to
it's a
think of a.
Daddy, can I have this? Can I have that? Sure you can.
No,
I love you.
No, I'm talking De Niro in Meet the Parents. That's what I'm thinking of.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, protective and
Like,
overbearing
just
and
very like this is.
We were over.
these are the rules of my
We
daughter.
were over my brother-in-law's place, and there was a couple of their friends, and one of them had a toddler, maybe like
Oh, that's a nightmare.
maybe like
dude.
2 years
Yeah,
old.
No,
that's
toddlers are fun. I
Really,
like them
2 years
chewing
old?
No,
up.
but around an infant though.
Yeah,
that's a
and
nightmare.
he was just like baby, just kept saying baby, and it's like I gotta stay away from the baby.
Right.
She's just a baby, and like kept going on and on. And at one point they were sitting together, and he was getting kind of crappy because like she was getting attention.
Right.
So he was like taking things from her and
Trying
saying,
to
"No,
get
that's
the
fine, that's all
attention.
right, attention." And then he rolled to the side, but then he kind of kicked his leg out. I felt purposely,
Right.
but it was one of those things where. He was a sly
Oh,
son
no,
of a
he did
bitch,
it on
you know what I
purpose.
mean? Like
No,
he
no,
did
they
it,
all- kids wanna
and
kill their other
He
kids.
just
Yeah.
nudged her
They
a
wanna-
little bit, and
that-
she toppled over and started crying.
Right,
and I
and
was
then
like,
Caught ya.
But in my head, I want to be like, he did it on purpose. But you
Right.
can't get mad at like a
Yeah, you
2-year-old
can.
kid.
Yeah, no, but-
they're
But when you're not their parent, you feel like this. You feel like, But I did enough.
wait till
by,
they have another one.
I did enough by not saying anything.
Right.
Right.
I went like this on it. Yeah. And I
Oh,
just
kids
kinda
will.
looked around, I was like,
If then your 2 nieces.
I just made it uncomfortable.
What's the
Right.
age? What's the age gap between the nieces?
3 years.
Yeah, she was probably the older one was pissed off when that one showed up, and she still is. That's why she does
Oh,
the things
yeah.
that she does.
Yeah.
If they had a third, it would change to shift
Me
the
and
balance.
my sister weren't cool till she was going to leave for college.
yeah, but there's 5 years in between. 4 years.
5
right?
years in
5.
between
Yeah,
us.
well, she didn't like you either. 'cause
No, she didn't. She
Yeah,
called
you were
me
the usurper.
She called me. My parents told me she called me it when I got home. Like
yeah, that's
people,
because she had
What?
she was the princess, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden this thing shows up.
people people
What?
came to visit when I was born, and she was like, "Oh, it's in the other room."
Right.
Wow.
5 years is too long of a gap. It should be 4 years or less,
Yeah.
ideally, between each the kids.
Whatever. I don't want. Put it this way: if I'm gonna have another kid, I don't want it to be a girl that is going to also be in high school at the same time my other girl is in high school.
Okay.
I think that would be a nightmare.
Well, it's gonna be.
Like if
Unless
one's a
you're gonna have a kid
sophomore
in
and one's
10
a senior, could you imagine how horrible that would be?
No, it's not that
there's
bad.
No, dude, I'm with him on that one.
Well, then what are you supposed to say? Wait 10 years to have your next kid?
I got
No, it's just like I pray to God that it's a boy, because if it isn't, the two of them at the same time in the same high school with boys and just drama and just that age.
You're trying to tell
like,
me you think your senior daughter is going to be interested in a freshman boy?
No, I'm saying like as far
having two girls in high school to deal with.
having two girls in high school, to deal with. But no, I'm saying
the
boys in
female
general.
drama.
In that,
It's not that bad. I had
4 little sisters.
I have
thought it was-
8
I thought it
brothers
was
and
pretty bad.
sisters, and they were
Really?
all in high school at the same time that I was, and it was fine.
oh
This is
God,
ridiculous.
There was no competition. It was the Smiths against everybody else. That's what it was. I actually had a brother and sister in every year that I was in school. There was a Smith somewhere in the lineup.
Right. Same with us. Yeah. Same. It was the same thing. Well, there's a 2-year gap in there somewhere.
That's not a horrible thing. I don't
Between
think.
3 and 4, there's a 2-year gap.
No, there was always a Smith in every class.
Yeah.
From K through all the way up to graduation.
I think having I don't know. I wouldn't want my
3's
kids.
good.
I don't want my kids too close together in age at all. I think a few years between each one is good anyway. You know. I don't
3
know.
years is the ideal.
You know. Yeah. That's
Otherwise,
solid.
because the 5-year-old will try to push the 1-year-old down the stairs.
Yeah, you're right.
And they will actually succeed, and they're like,
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just like that the 2-year-old versus
Right.
the infant. They always
which
want to try.
sibling
And,
did you do that to, Sterling?
I'm at the bottom. I'm number 7.
Are you, oh yeah. So
I'm at the bottom.
you're
I'm a bottom feeder.
You're
I'm 7 out of 9.
7 out
Whoa.
of 9. Wow. Wow.
It's who did it to me.
Right.
True that. Yeah. There you go. True
You
that.
bounced down the stairs.
Yeah, and you see some.
On a few separate occasions.
Yes.
Cartwheeling down the fucking.
So
much.
do you hate your oldest sibling the most?
No, there's
Or
a
do-
huge gap between the old.
That's
at
what I'm
the
saying
bottom.
though, because you like,
No,
oh,
they
they
were
should
already
be
out of
close
the house.
together.
No,
Oh.
they were out. There's like 20 years between the oldest and the youngest.
So you closest with your closest in age.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's 2 years between each of us.
All right.
But then there's 20 years between the oldest and the youngest.
Wow.
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 Insane.
Yeah, I think my mother and my uncle are like 11 years. Oh, that's a lot.
That's too much.
That's me.
That's
and,
2 different upbringing.
That's me and my brother.
There's one in
We're
the middle,
11 and a half
but-
years apart. Yeah.
But is there someone in the middle?
There's 4 in the middle. Yeah.
Oh, well, then it's,
Yeah,
then
four
it's,
girls,
Yeah, but it's different
yeah.
if your mother had you and then decided,
Oh yeah, no, but
hey,
I'm saying,
guess what?
You're saying my brother is more like he was like my kid more than my brother. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yep,
Like, yeah,
and that's a
you
good
know, I was
relationship
like-
to have.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. I'm kind of the black sheep, of my family.
Yeah, but
I'm,
we
I'm
knew
the,
that.
I'm the wild man. Oh yeah, God, yeah.
The wild man.
I'm the wild man.
I'm the wild
That's
child.
that's the favorite. My still to this day, my favorite time ever being brought on stage was in Wareham. AJ Haypenny. Shout out to AJ, my man's.
Yeah.
He the show he hosted. He brought me on stage one night. He's like this next guy. He's like, I don't know what to say about him other than he's a bit of a wild man, but he's really funny. You guys are gonna like him.
There you go.
And he brought me out. That was a great night.
I saw him the
That
other
was a
night.
great night. Did you? Yeah, I love that guy.
First 100 jokes. How come you guys didn't?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
now?
get. Yeah, I didn't get an email, and then
Are you sure?
I am 100% sure.
Okay.
I've been invited every single year, and I did
Except
not
this
get
one.
except this year. I
Right.
did not get invited, but then
Thank
someone
you.
else was running it, and
Yeah, exactly.
that. And then someone else was running it, and then I was like, you know what, screw it, and I went and did another show on the Saturday instead of that next day. So I said, screw it.
Here you go. I also did not get invited.
Interesting. I wonder where
Yeah.
the cutoff was. I don't
Yeah.
know how they. I don't know how they figured it out.
I don't know.
Well, whatever.
Who knows? Now what
Oh, that's
what
yummy.
is the point of rolling
Isn't that good?
that beer bottle like
Because
that?
it has that like crap at the bottom, and then you're supposed to do that so it like gets
Oh.
through it a little bit. Because
Okay.
I
So that
noticed,
it mixes in.
Right.
I noticed my
So
last
you
ones.
can't really shake a
my last
bottle,
ones are a
yeah.
little. Yeah, you can't be like, I gotta
I
get
get
this
it.
in
I
there.
get it.
Sediment.
Yeah, so
Right,
it gets
right.
all that that gunk at the bottom and filters it in there.
I get you.
Yep. So it's all good stuff.
I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. I was at a wedding. I was talking to this gorgeous, gorgeous woman, maybe 25, and it was just right when the I think it was, I don't even know who it was, but they had another person that was like, oh, Kevin Spacey, or whoever the next guy is, right? So this is after the wedding. Everybody's buzzing. We're sitting in the lobby, and she's gorgeous. And she said, well, we have to hold men to a higher standard. And I don't know how we even started the conversation. And I'm
Were you like, pah?
and I just seen a comic called Orny something.
Orny Williams.
No. Orny. Orny.
Orny Adams. Orny Adams.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
He was just at Comics Mohegan. I was at the show.
Oh.
He did a spot after the show that I was on too.
It's Orny Adams, yes.
Yeah.
Orny
Yeah,
Adams.
and he was saying, and one of his bits was basically, ladies, lower the bar, because we're not jumping any higher than we are now. This is basically what we got.
Now
and,
the shit's just coming out. This has always been happening.
Right.
Right. That's what I said. I said, she said something like, "Oh, in this rape culture," and I said, "Hun, step back a minute.
You mean culture?
I'm gonna culture? You mean culture?" And she was really like, but again, this is like I hate to say liberal, but this is what they're teaching.
Right.
I don't understand how they're not getting two sides, you know?
Now, I suspect,
and she,
can I just real quick before you keep going?
Yeah,
I suspect also though, like you being a middle-aged black woman, I think a lot of people try to score brownie points with you in a lot of ways. You know, so that I'm just saying.
She wasn't trying to score any points. She was arguing the total opposite. And I said, she said, in this rape culture, and I said, stop right there.
Sure.
Men are perfect just the way they are. They were designed for a couple of things. Their primary objective is to be fruitful and multiply.
Right.
That's why they carry their junk with them.
Right.
We, on the other hand, get to stay there. But that also has its benefits. That's why women communicate so well and work so well.
Yeah.
I love the Mormon model. Get the hell out. We need you once a month. After that, get the hell out. We don't really need you. We're fine all by ourselves. We can do it. We get the kids. We get this. We get that. Why the best relationships are those that have one person that's not home that often. Military, if they don't go nuts, they have the strongest. From a relationship perspective, if you're married to a military person, 90% of the time you're going to stay married to that person forever, unless they go nuts and do some sort of like PTSD. But anyway, this woman was gorgeous, and she said, well, in this rape culture, I said, the minute men figured out they could knock women on the head and drag them into the cave, that's rape culture. Anything after that, it hasn't changed. So don't say that this thing, it's been going on since they knew they could do it.
Right.
So for you to say, well, we need to hold them to a higher standard, and she kept saying that. I'm like, what standard are you trying to? I don't understand the standard.
Right.
And and she said,
"You mean the standard? You're not supposed to rape women? Yeah, they already know that.
Right. That's exactly
they're just
it.
shitty people.
Right. And she was like, well, we need to do this, and I'm like, we've already done that. Marriage was an institution to prevent men from doing. If this man claimed this woman
property, yes.
No, but even still, it still protected women, because up until that point, you could rape a 12-year-old.
Right.
And get away with it.
Right.
You know, and or you could blame the 12-year-old, which is crazy. But in this country and in Western culture, for the most part, it doesn't matter what part of the Western culture you're in, the reason women were valued that way is because they knew that there are nutcases out there that would do anything they could to get into that woman's pants or do this, that, and the other thing.
Sure,
so marriage was and she was trying to argue, well, the institution, blah, blah, blah. I said, it's not the institution. The institution doesn't do anything. It's the two people that say yes.
Right.
Okay? If one of them decides to go that way and the other one doesn't, now versus 200 years ago, things have changed. But as far as the framework is concerned, men have not changed and women haven't changed, but the demands on the groups have, to the point where you can't hold someone to a higher standard if they weren't raised that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, that guy's a dick. He's going to be a dick no matter what.
Right.
So for you to try and get them to behave differently, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And I said, think about the pack mentality. I said, if there's a group of guys, she was in a softball team, and I said, okay, you go out and you play. It's a co-ed softball team.
Right.
Okay, everybody goes out for beers afterwards. There's a group of guys over talking to each other, and the ones that are going home to their wives or whatever, and you're sitting in the bar by yourself. If there's a bunch of single guys there, and they know you're not seeing anyone at the moment because you've been with them for a year or two, whatever, but you also know the ones that are in a relationship. So what's going to happen is they're going to go over there and talk, talk blah, blah, blah. You're going to be over there, and you're going to be drinking the thing, and one by one, the single guys are going to come up, and they're going to ask you out, even though you've been playing on the same team for whatever length of time.
Right.
They're each going to come over, and you're going to say no to each of them. Are they going to go back and with their tail between their legs? No, they're going to go back and they go, oh, she must be a lesbian. Oh, she must be this. Oh, she must be that. Oh, she must be this. Why? Because they can't do it in a group dynamic. They can't lose. They can't lose face.
Right.
If a single guy comes up to you with no group watching, he's going to be a totally different guy.
Sure.
Because if you shoot him down, he's not going to go back. Nobody's watching him fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, sure. Okay.
Right. And she's like, well, why can't we all hold him to that standard? I said, because we're a group. We're animals that function well in a group.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
And that's how we stay safe too. So, and that's evolution.
Well,
you're not going to change that.
It's incredibly, like when you're talking about going up to a woman and like people knowing or whatever, it's incredibly revealing and embarrassing. And if you're with a group of friends and something bad happens, you're way more likely to be like, bitch, don't talk to me.
Exactly.
Then, I mean, how often, James, you can attest to this.
You.
You can attest to this, right? How many times have you been with a group of guys, a guy goes to hit on a girl, it's 1,000 times more hilarious if he gets a drink thrown in his face than if a girl politely tells him no.
Right.
But when he comes back and he just got told no, how often would he be like, dude, I struck out. Whatever.
Right.
But never. Like, virtually never. He'd be like,
no, there's always an excuse.
Asshole.
Yeah.
She's a lesbian, she's a bitch, she's this,
because
she's
you
that.
instantly are
Right, that's
resentful.
the pack mentality. You cannot lose face in the group.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to explain to her, I said, look, they're all going to come up and they're going to try and hit on you, and maybe they'll succeed. And she said, well, I said, what would you like in an ideal approach? She said, I would like someone to tell me exactly what their intentions are. This and this. Okay. So then I went back and I said, most men aren't good communicators. You're expecting them to do something that is outside their realm.
You want us to be honest?
Yes. Right.
Oh my God, that's the best thing I've heard all day.
This is a 20-something-year-old. This is what I'm talking about. It's like they have
naive can you be?
Their expectations are so blown out of proportion because of white guilt and feminism. It's like, ladies, you can have it all. Your mother's been telling you that since you were born. No, you can't. Not without something else balancing it out.
Sure.
But they're so conditioned that, well, I'm an independent woman and I'm gorgeous and you're not gonna. I don't want to get hit on, but sometimes I do. But if I wear a short skirt, somebody shouldn't say I look nice, even though I do. And it's like you want too much, but you don't know what you want. You know what I mean?
But you know what though? Honesty is the best any kind of relationship advice I've ever given to anybody.
Dude.
As far as approaching a girl or anything,
Dude.
if you're 100% honest, you get your answer, and she'll never look at you in a way that you'd be, unless you say some horrific shit when you're honest.
Right.
And you're like, I really.
But that's also the pack mentality. If
But-
you're with a group of guys, the chances of you saying that and not getting shit, even if you get cut down, are very, very slim.
Yeah, but my
You know?
my point is that I've always said that, as far as just being honest with a girl, be like, look, I don't know if we're friends or what's going on, but like, are we like
That's
going
a really
somewhere else
tough-
with this?
that's a-
Because if you do it, you just know that I'm getting my answer, and if it goes well, it goes well, and if it doesn't, I got to move on.
Right.
But that's a tough thing to come to grips with. That's why you wait like 3.5 years to actually bring it up, like shit like that.
Should I shave my pubes now?
But that.
But that's also difficult because in this generation, you're probably the tail end of the this. You know what I mean? Everybody does texting.
We were the start of that. We were like,
no, this has been going on.
No. Like
right,
instant messaging online, having a screen name, started with, I believe, me. I want to say it was right.
In particular?
Well, no. Like started with our generation where that became like everyone had a screen name.
Right.
That's what you did every night, and that's how. Because if you couldn't go out because you were younger, you only got to go out with certain things. That's how you communicated. That's where like you were like, how do I say this without seeming like this through a keyboard?
Right.
Like that was the first like.
But that's been lost because everything's so short. It's like
before that, you'd have to call a girl up. Imagine the like embarrassment.
right, but that was almost better.
But
because
I was still a part of that.
Right.
A girl called my house, and it was like, either my sister or something. Oh,
Same.
you'd be
Right.
like, oh no.
Right.
And you look like an
phone
idiot.
calls.
You know?
Yeah, but it's better to look like an idiot in your own house than go to a bar and get
or
shot down.
calling a girl's house, not knowing who's going to answer.
Right.
Oh yeah, the dad.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Terrifying.
Oh my God.
Explaining who you are, like you would have to be like,
Yes,
there's
sir.
no way
I've
I could
never
do
heard of
this.
any Joe before.
Dude, if
Yeah.
you let, honest to God, this is
My
what you'd
name's
have to
Joe.
do. If you were a junior high, you'd be like, I'm going to call you at 8:02. You be by the phone.
Right.
I don't want to talk to anybody.
Right.
And then if someone else picks up, you hang up, and then they know it's like, okay,
Right.
maybe I should pick
And
up.
that was even before Star
That's how
69.
you wiggled
right?
your
No,
way.
we had Star
That
69.
just started, yeah.
Yeah, we had.
But that's how you wiggled your way into like talking to them on the phone without having to have that pressure. But
Right.
that amount of like, all right,
Oh,
here we go.
God,
Right, and it was all one-sided. 90% of the time, it was the guy calling the girl.
Oh, had to. Girl
yeah,
can't
yeah,
call you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if a girl called you, you think it was weird.
Yeah. I remember
is she calling me?
I remember a girl called me once, and I was like, huh?
What?
You sure? You know, one of those things.
Well,
that-
yeah, I mean, unless it was like a
And it was never the girl
girlfriend,
you wanted to
Right,
call
yeah,
you.
yeah.
It was never the girl you wanted to
Right.
call
No,
you.
right.
You'd be like, who?
Right.
You mean Nicole?
Right, yeah.
No, I don't. I mean Colleen. No, you don't. No. You must have got it wrong. Why don't you ask her again what her name is? Because
Right.
that can't be right. Because the
Right.
girl I like, that's the one who should be called.
Right. I loved it.
Crazy.
Remember three-way calls?
Love the three-way. Hold on.
Those were the best, man. That was awesome.
Hey,
those are the original threesome.
We went right through a break. We're at 9. We're
a
minute over.
It's all good. Well, yeah, it's all right.
Let's get Mike out of here, man.
People got places to go, shit to do.
Falling asleep.
Sterling's got a mic to host after this.
I do.
So,
yeah.
If you guys are, if you're in the area, come on down to Improv Boston.
10 o'clock.
At 10 p.m.
Comedy Lottery.
Comedy Lottery, hosted by Stirling Smith.
I'm going Sterling S.
Oh, okay, hosted by Sterling.
By the end of the year, that's
I
it.
apologize.
It'll
I like that.
work its way in.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Hell yeah.
Smith is so anticlimactic. It really is. Sterling.
Yeah.
It's like.
Oh shit.
Sterling S is much better.
I'm all right with it. Either way, I support you fully.
Either way.
Now,
thank you so much.
Thank you for coming down here tonight, though. Honestly, this was great.
What a treat. A lot of fun.
This really was a blast. This was so much fun. We hope you come back sometime.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys for listening out there. We're signing off until next Wednesday at 7. Peace out.
Peace out.